gets you with their, what's theirs called, Roby or something like that, I think.
Yeah, the thing is, you go and you buy the drill, and then you get it at home, and you're like, well, wait a minute, there's no battery.
Well, that's
you gotta,
what
you got to buy the battery separately.
Exactly, and the charging stations and everything else. Yeah, that's where it really comes in at. So I have 2 brands basically that I'll buy from, and those are the only ones I buy, which they do on purpose, of course, because I already have the batteries and the chargers for them. I'm not going anywhere else. I don't need any more of those things. It'll be like passwords the next thing I know.
So you were using it in the green room?
Well,
a little bit.
Now this is some highfalutin construction business here. So this is where I get my Tim Allen man card.
Okay.
So I had my power drill, and we had a listener that was nice enough to make me a tumbler.
Oh,
and
nice.
it's a Cincinnati Reds tumbler. So.
Right. Cool.
For the television crowd, and it's wonderful. I mean, it insulates water well. It's great for the studio, as if we have any engineers watching, it's sealed, so if it gets accidentally knocked over, it won't spill. It's a very nice tumbler, but there's a design flaw in the lid for it, in that there's no like exhaust port. There's nothing to release the pressure from inside of this water or this airtight container. So.
Wow.
Although you slide back the little trigger in order to take a drink, prior to today, you could turn it upside down and nothing would come out of it because it was vacuum sealed. Even with the hole, you couldn't get anything. You'd have to suck it out. Like there was no way to get it out. So since I had my drill here, I used a tiny little drill bit and made an exhaust.
Could you get your drill and maybe turn it on next to the microphone so we could maybe hear that?
I'm sure I could.
Just reach back there and get your drill. And I want to hear. Yeah, that's interesting that you did that with your tumbler. Who needs a Stanley, right? Because now you've got like a makeshift Anley or whatever. Yeah, turn your drill. Let me hear that. Fire that baby up. Here we go.
Wait a minute. I better not do any sponsors. So I'll keep the logo away from the camera.
Yes.
Those are the types of things we have to learn about these days.
Okay,
right?
all right.
So here we go.
Let's have it. Oh no. Don't drill a hole into the microphone.
Yeah, there you go. Right?
Oh,
jeez.
Oh, man.
Somebody listening just had a heart attack.
Oh, man, we just broke so many rules. Corporate. Oh, no.
See the tiny little drill bit?
Yeah, we probably shouldn't do that with the engineers in the building. They're going to be coming down.
Side of the plastic side.
We just do our little show down here and nobody bothers us, But when you start messing with the gear, man, you know how it goes. Oh, man. Do that one more time. Turn that thing on one more time. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's nice. Yeah, I don't want you to run the battery down. Because you never know. You might there might be other jobs around the building for you to do.
This is fully charged, and I have another one with me because I plan on – well, the thing in my office is, I don't know if you remember from when you shared that office with me, that those aren't drywall.
Right.
That's cement up there. So, like, if you want to hang something in your office, you have to basically have, like, a hammer drill to get it in.
I had not been up there until a few days ago.
I know, that's the first time in a while.
You have done some really nice things with the place. You have, like, a little chill-out area with a little table and everything.
Spruced it up some, got rid of – you know what the nicest thing that I did to that office was? Is if you went and looked in stuff now, there's nothing in there.
Oh, is that right?
There's nothing in any drawers. There's nothing stuck underneath anything. When I cleaned that thing out, it was literally, I don't know how many contractor bags. There were ratings books from 1986.
Nice.
And some of that stuff is like sort of interesting, but there's no.
Hey, you gave me a Wings CD. You remember that?
I did. Yes,
I did.
Wings CD. I found a lot of CDs.
Man, football. We tried to avoid the start, but now it's here. We've even got college football today.
Hey, yeah.
So you got your college football week 0, but we've got like 4 teams from the Mountain East are playing. I was taking a look at the ESPN Plus schedule. Coop, do you remember? It wasn't that long ago that if a team had a game that was televised, it was a big deal.
Right.
Now it's almost like if there's a game that's not televised, it's like what happened.
Yep.
Okay. Because there's a couple of games. Let's see. Concord's playing Davidson tonight. That game's on. Glenville is playing at Elon tonight. That game's on ESPN Plus. One of the other games here in the Valley, it's either the UC. I think maybe it's the UC game. UC plays tonight. Might be on Flow TV. I've never done the Flow TV thing. I mean, that's the thing that you'd buy if you want to watch the Dirty Birds.
I mean, even at the beginning of the century, when I was living in Michigan and and we were talking about like WVU games, like I could only count on being able to see living in another state, maybe 4 or 5 games a year.
And when they be on, it'd be like an event.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Right?
It was like a big deal.
Yeah.
And then eventually ESPN3 rolled out where you could stream a lot of those Big East games back in the day. And so, you got kind of spoiled by that. But now it's like if you don't have HD quality, perfect streaming for virtually every game, man, it's like a big scandal.
Yeah, big scandal. And the Metro News Network has a streaming game tonight, which is Cameron at Clay Battelle.
Yeah, there you
Cameron
go.
at Clay Battelle. We have got some high school games tonight. Let me see here. Okay. Boy, I guess Ryan couldn't do the crosstalk. He probably needs a nap because he's got to work the high school game
I'm
tonight.
I'm making him do the sporty sports tonight.
Yeah.
I brought him some candy.
He's not happy.
Yeah, I brought him some candy as a bonus. I was like, I know you like sugar. Here's some sugar for tonight to get you going.
He's a little grumpy about it, so he had to go get a power nap because he's got to come back tonight.
Yeah,
but you know what though? He's got a really good game.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Nitro South Charleston's a really good game. I mean, look how close Nitro came to winning the AAA last year before they lost to Princeton. South Charleston thinks they got a little something
They
this
feel
year.
like that they might be a little bit of a dark
horse. They got a quarterback
yeah.
over there,
yeah. And I got to tell you, selfishly, from being the program director of WCHS down here in Charleston, as well as everything else, I'm really excited to have my 3-man booth back. We haven't been able to do that for a couple seasons. So Matt on the sidelines is fantastic. He does a great job getting coaches interviews. He's right there in the coin flip, so you know what's going on there when there's injuries and stuff like that. He's really Johnny on the spot. Really enhances our broadcast when we have that third person on our broadcast. So I'm really happy to have Matt back.
So, I didn't realize that I had a conflict tonight. I forgot that South Charleston's playing on a Thursday night. I got a fantasy football draft tonight.
Man, what are you going to do? How can you handle that?
It's got to go fantasy football. I mean, there'll be a bunch more South Charleston games, right? So, and I can listen to it on the radio.
Yeah,
right?
Well, there you go. That's the real answer. I was going to say that the South Charleston game takes place in real life.
That's fair. That is fair. The other high school games tonight in West Virginia, you got some interesting lid lifters, as we say in the business. Well, actually, nobody says that. North Marion at the Fairmont East Bees, Hedgesville and Martinsburg over in the Eastern Panhandle, Weird Oak Glen tonight. I mentioned Clay Battelle, the Fighting Seabees against Cameron, and then Man at Logan tonight. So you got some games. I just talked to Dave Allen. We didn't do any promotion today on the Paint the Capital City Green event at the airport tonight. Completely sold out.
Oh, I know.
It's completely sold
out. They just absolutely
they rock
sell
that thing, man.
Every single year they sell that thing out. It's incredible.
Chef Paul's going to cater that bad boy. Steelers are playing tonight. We're less than 4 hours from their game in Buffalo against the Bills. We still don't know who's the quarterback. We're not going to know until they run out at the beginning of the game.
I mean, it's preseason. You know who your starter is.
I know.
So it's like it's preseason.
I know, but is Aaron Rodgers going to play? Mason Rudolph, is he going to play? Is Aller going to start? What about Will Howard? So we'll find some answers out tonight. I've never been to a pro game in Buffalo. I've been to Buffalo. I've done a basketball game there, a couple of basketball games there. Did a Buffalo Bulls football game there one time. In Buffalo one time, I got on the New York thruway and started going the wrong way.
Oh.
That was exciting.
Yeah, not a great idea.
Yeah. Have you ever had that happen where you get on the interstate or a paid road and suddenly you realize you're going the wrong way?
Honestly, no. I can't think of a time that's
and
happened.
this was in the middle of a snowstorm, believe it or not. Like,
well, that would make it a lot.
That's like every day in Buffalo, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I rolled down like maybe a mile and a half, and those little places in the middle of the middle of the interstate where the state police turn around and they tell you do not do those. I did one of those.
Yeah, yeah.
So when I came back, I thought I was being really smooth until I got to the ticket booth, and the guy just looked at me. He just gave me that look like, just go somewhere, but leave here.
This wasn't a paid road, but when my first winter in Michigan, when I moved to Michigan, I was driving. It was actually on a date. I was driving to go to a date, and so I'm not going to miss it.
Right.
Although it was in the middle of a stinking blizzard, man. I mean, it was tons of snow coming down. It was coming down in a hurry, and I got snow blind. Like I was driving on 69 heading northbound between Marshall and Lansing. I got snow blind. I got disoriented, spun out. And because I was seeing it like illusions, like I thought there was a tractor trailer locked up ahead of me, and I like slammed on my brakes. There was nothing there. It was just like an illusion, and I like spun out, did like I don't know, 360, 180. Your guess is as good as mine.
Wow.
And just started going straight again, and I was going straight the wrong way.
Oh.
I saw the back of a road sign. That's how I knew. I was like, oh, I need to turn around again.
Oh, man.
Yeah, man. And then the date was terrible. So, I mean, it was really not a great night.
Is Jeff Jenkins coming down for a news update today? Because I
think
want
he's
to
supposed
ask
to
you
be
guys.
here.
I got questions for you guys. About the Reds game last night.
Oh, man.
So
I got a lot of stuff about that, too. Go ahead.
Okay. So the Reds beat the Giants 10-9. They scored 7 runs in the top of the 9th inning. Man,
they almost did this a week ago.
Yeah, they almost did it a week ago. And Suarez had a grand slam.
Another one.
In the comeback.
Yep.
Okay. Then we find out last night, Ken Rosenthal reported that Suarez and Friedel were both put on waivers. We found that out. My question is, did Suarez know he was on waivers when they played that game yesterday?
I don't know, man.
Because they're saying Jeff's coming in here in a second. He'll know the deal on this. So there was one report that when Rosenthal reported that Suarez was on waivers, we assumed that those waivers started sometime yesterday. But there was another report that came out that said the waivers actually started on Tuesday and they expired today at noon. We know now that Suarez and Friedel have gone through waivers, and no one claimed them. Did Suarez know he was on waivers when he played yesterday's game?
I don't know.
Jeff, what do you think? Did you think he knew he was on waivers?
Sure. He's got an agent.
Yeah.
Right. I would think he would know.
Yeah. Now
he was on waivers.
Now, there's no shame in being on waivers, okay? That happens a lot at the end of the year. Teams that are out of the running that have high price. Wasn't Francisco Lindor on waivers a couple of years ago for the Mets?
Yeah, I think that's right.
So if somebody had picked up Suarez, they would have been you can't trade anymore. They've changed the waiver rules. Right. So if anybody had decided to take Suarez, they would have had to take his salary, which is a little less than $3 million for the rest of the year. That's right. Those guys made it through waivers, and they are remaining with the Reds. So a couple of questions about this. I'm assuming that Suarez is probably going to play out the rest of the year, right? You've already paid. You put him through waivers. Nobody claimed him. You owe him $2.8 million. You're going to pay him.
Yeah.
Friedel's had 1 hit since the All-Star break.
1 for 34.
Yeah, he's had 1 hit since the All-Star break. The Reds owe him $700K. Do you DFA him? Do you keep him on the roster? What do you do with Friedel? What do you do with Friedel, assuming that you're keeping Suarez? What do you think?
I mean, he really shouldn't play.
Agreed.
I mean, you've got the young guys who should be playing, the rest of the season. I don't know what they'll do. He'll definitely, I would think, be after the season he'll be gone. But I mean, do you do it now? You expand the rosters a little bit, not by a lot though anymore, right? September 1st, a few people.
Yeah,
you
40.
Expand.
Oh no! Wait a minute! They've changed the rules on that.
Yeah, they
too.
changed that too, right?
So I think that's
only a couple people.
It's like 26 or
I think it's like 28 or 29.
Yeah, it's not very many.
Yeah, it's like 2 or 3 people.
Right.
I thought Suarez might get picked up with a right-handed bat.
Yeah, I thought so too. There's a bunch of teams that need right-handed power,
especially if you take like the first maybe 9 weeks of the season. I know that's a lot, but if you drop that 9 weeks and look at his numbers since then, it's actually about what you probably expected, like a 230s hitter and a bunch of home runs.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what you expected.
But you think, one of the reasons that this is happening now is because teams have to solidify their rosters for the playoffs, that kind of thing. I think that's got to be done by this weekend. So I was kind of surprised that, I thought the Diamondbacks were maybe a possibility for him.
That was one. They were talking about Cleveland, maybe.
Maybe the Yankees were supposedly looking at another right-handed bat, but nobody picked him up for whatever reason.
Picked him up. Well, probably what hurt him was he ended last year poorly.
Yeah.
And then didn't start off well this year, so it's probably like,
Yeah, but the Diamondbacks loved having the guy.
Yeah. Well, he got like a very warm welcome when the Reds were there, last week, whenever it was they were there.
Listening to the Reds broadcast, though, TJ Friedel is this close away from breaking out of his slump. Like he hit that ball really hard to the shortstop, and so anytime now, those hits are going to start coming.
That's right. Oh, my goodness. Jeff, what do you got in the news? What's going on?
Yeah, big news, Dave. We're getting ready to post the story. Big financial news on this, too, because Anthropic, you're familiar with them, Dave?
Oh, yeah.
Right. And they have Claude, the AI Claude, right? And
initial public offering coming soon.
Right. And so they have cut a deal. All the reports indicate, Bloomberg News, others, $45 billion with Nscale, which is developing the data center in Mason County. And that's where, so their $45 billion deal is for 6 years to claim some of that storage space that they will be creating at the Monarch Compute campus, right? So, and that'll take about a third of their space there.
Hey, Jeff, who wrote this headline about Morrissey and Justice getting in a slap fight?
Hey, Brad.
That was a good headline.
Yeah.
That's a good. You want to mediate this situation, or what do you think?
We'll see. There's a long way to go. We'll see who does what. But, it was just interesting. They went back and forth a little bit last night. Yeah.
Very interesting, in fact.
So those stories more, a lot of other things at the website.
Jeff, thank you.
Okay.
We'll take a break. We're coming back with more in a moment.
Wounded Warrior Project helps post 9/11 veterans and their families realize what's possible. With support and resources that bring warriors together and empower them to become stronger, both inside and out.
It's possible to begin healing.
To get the help you need.
To find peace.
And as each warrior's needs evolve, so do we. Because these last 20 years are just the beginning. Learn more at woundedwarriorproject.org/possible.
On the next State of Minds.
I was in liver failure, and I was told I needed to quit drinking or I was going to die, and that was at 36. When he invited me to church, all the hair on my arms, my chest, my back, it all stood up. You're taught to love, you're taught to forgive, and there's a reason for that. It lets you be healthy and lets you move forward with a vision for your life that's not defined by what happened to you.
This week on the Metro News Television Game of the Week, powered by GoMart, the Grafton Bearcats travel to Philip Barber for the Week 1 matchup. Join us Friday, August 28th at 7 p.m. for complete live coverage from George Breyer Field. Watch live on Metro News Television, YouTube, and Facebook. Bearcats versus Colts. Friday, August 28th at 7 p.m. The Metro News Television Game of the Week, powered by GoMart.
The Ad Council.
Moving Day, a walk for Parkinson's, is happening around the country. More than just a walk. Moving Day is a fun experience that unites the community in the fight against Parkinson's disease. Parkinson's doesn't stop, and neither will we. So let's get moving. Join the Parkinson's Foundation to learn more and register for an event in your area at movingdaywalk.org. That's movingdaywalk.org.
Small businesses are the heart of America. Like you, these entrepreneurs started out with a dream and a drive to build a better life. If you have a small business idea to grow or challenge,
I think many people have a misconception that all that we do is infertility care, and that's not the case. Reproductive health matters whether or not you're trying to conceive. So we can be dealing with endometriosis, ovulation dysfunction, PCOS. You're getting linked up with all the specialties that you need to optimize your care. And being an advocate for your reproductive health is important. The most rewarding times that I have is when I'm empowering people to take control of their health.
At Daniel's Men's Store, exceptional style begins with a curated selection and finishes with a flawless fit. When it's time to buy a suit, Daniel's is here to make sure yours is one of a kind. Discover tailored suits you'll only find in store at Daniel's.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
Touchdown!
Today's Metro News Television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun. Thanks for checking in. I'm meteorologist Todd Nelson with a look at your local forecast. We are going to see those thunderstorms linger here early this evening, and then clouds will stay with us on Friday. Most of the thunderstorm activity, though, shifting to the east. Heading into the weekend, it will be sunnier, but it is also going to get warmer. How about this August? Really a very wet August. In fact, more than 10 inches of rain in Charleston. That's good enough for the wettest August on record here, with more than 7 inches and a surplus. Again, a lot of positive numbers here. And then year to date, seeing those positives, the updated drought monitor showing that we still have abnormally dry conditions farther east in yellow. But today there is that marginal severe threat. Farther east, we do have a slight risk of severe thunderstorms all developing along this particular boundary that, again, will create those thunderstorms through the afternoon and evening. Wind and hail the primary threat, pockets of locally heavy rain. And then by Friday, again, most of that activity shifting to the south and east, but definitely pockets of heavy rain with that. Time now for a Fly CRW forecast throughout Florida. 90s, feels like temperatures into the triple digits, a few thunderstorms on Friday. Again, those lingering clouds for our panhandle forecast. We can't rule out, again, a few leftover showers and storms well off to the east into the afternoon. Spencer at 84, Ripley 85, Parkersburg 83. Again, a couple of showers, isolated thunderstorms. Webster Springs at 79. Again, the best chance of those isolated thunderstorms kind of shifting to the south and east later in the day. But again, just more rain for this very wet August. Again, most of the thunderstorms kind of ending overnight tonight. A couple of leftover into our Friday farther east. Drier, sunnier weekend, but it is going to be warming up Sunday. We're back up to 90.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
I love the state of West Virginia. I've met some of my best friends. I'm excited to be back. I still have my pickup truck. I still have four-wheel drive. One of the ladies asked me in the forum if I know how to drive in the snow. I told her, oh yeah, I spent 5 years in Elkins.
See, that's one of those things. Now that you're coming to Fairmont, you've handled the Elkins winter.
Yeah,
this
if you can handle Randolph County.
I mean, you're moving. This is basically coming back to Florida here when you get to Fairmont. I mean, this is easy.
It's going to be a breeze.
Sportsline on Metro News Television. If it matters in West Virginia, it's being talked about here.
Gentlemen, I could not care less if you read this message. All right, moving on to the next one. 304 Talk 304. Well, they said it, not me.
Oh, it's terrible. Read the guy's phone.
Maybe I will, maybe I won't.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows Monday through Friday for Talkline. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
All right, welcome back. We talked about quite a few things today in our crosstalk segment, but I kind of buried the lead. Coop, have you seen the lineup for today's show? I mean, it's a kind of a killer, man.
Pretty strong, pretty strong.
Germain Lussier is going to be here in just a sec. Larry Groce is here at the top of the 4. Tony Caridi is going to drop by at 4:33. Amy Smith at 5 o'clock. Boy, man, did you see NVIDIA off to the races? The market cap on NVIDIA is almost $5.5 trillion.
Is that a lot?
That's a lot of zeros, man.
Seems like a lot.
That's a lot of zeros.
I remember, I won't get into it, but I just remember somebody shared an illustration, the difference between a billion and a trillion. And
Scary, man.
I think they did it in seconds, the difference between a billion seconds and a trillion seconds. And it was something like the difference between 22 years and 2,200 years or something. It's incredible.
Ooh, man, the biggest company on the planet, $5.5 trillion. And Kevin Kinder is going to be back. He's back.
Man, this is
I told you, that's what I mean.
This is a jacked show, man.
I know. We went for the,
Are you doing PEDs? What's happening here?
We got stuff happening here today. Let me get the question of the day. And the question of the day, in my humble opinion, is pretty strong.
Okay.
All
right.
I don't know. Maybe you showing off your power tools. Maybe I felt like I felt a little jealous by that. So I'm trying to match you there a little bit. But the question of the day today, I think, is pretty darn strong. Question of the day. New survey reveals 42% of adults made no cash purchases in a typical week this year, up sharply from 24% in 2015. Only 12% now use cash for nearly all purchases. Higher income Americans lead the cashless trend. That's not surprising. 58% of those earning $100K or more avoid using cash entirely. Meanwhile, lower-income Americans rely on cash the most, with roughly a quarter of those earning under $30K using cash for almost everything. Younger adults are driving the cashless shift. 51% of those under 30 never use cash. Despite declining use, 46% of Americans still carry cash on a regular basis, although 26% of frequent carriers never actually spend it. So here's the question of the day, and it's sponsored by Salango Law. When was the last time you paid cash for something, and what did you buy? When was the last time you paid for something in actual cash, and what did you buy? To respond, text those in, 304-TALK, 304. 304-8255-304. Tweet me. I'm on Exit Weekly, W-E-E-K-L-E-Y, one word, 3 E's, W-E-E-K-L-E-Y. So we're talking about cash.
That's good. That's good.
Straight cash.
I know exactly what the last thing I bought with cash was.
Yeah, I do too.
And it was like probably 3 weeks ago.
Okay, so it's been a while.
Been a little while, and it was that pepperoni roll that you gave to Ryan.
You know who's always cash?
You remember that?
Yeah. Oh, I do. I do.
Yeah, that was the last thing I paid cash for.
You know who's always solid with the money? That would
straight cash homie?
Straight cash homie. That would be Germain Lussier from Gizmodo.com. Germain, how you doing today?
Very well, thank you.
Hey, let me ask you, before we get into some of the stuff that you've got posted at Gizmodo.com, what's your gut feeling about how the Dog Stars is going to do this weekend? How do you think people are going to go out to see the Dog Stars from Ridley Scott?
No, not at all. The reviews are bad. There's no buzz. The trailers stink. I have not seen it. I had to miss the screening this week, but sorry, geez. Yeah, I do not think it's going to do well at all.
It's got a couple of stars. I mean, Josh Brolin's in the movie, Allison Janney, Guy Pearce, familiar names. It was a successful book.
Yeah, but it's Jacob Elordi is the star, and I don't think he's truly proven himself. And again, like, the trailers don't even tell you what it's about. It's like it's a guy in a plane. Like, what's happening? Like, where's the Ridley Scott of it all? You know, this guy is known for making some of the biggest, most exciting movies ever, and it's just a dude, like, there's people on horses, and that's great. But, yeah, I don't know. I always hope to be wrong when I am pessimistic on something like this, but I'm pretty confident in it this time.
You know what? Ridley Scott, though, is one of those guys that whatever he's up to, you got to check out. Is that fair? Whatever he's working on, you got to check it out.
Unless it's the Dog Stars. But,
right.
I agree, but I also think maybe that was 20 years ago. I mean, he's going to be 90 soon, and power to him that he can still do this. He's 88 now, turning 89. I looked this up later this year, and man, my parents passed away in their 70s. This is 20 years beyond that. I can't even imagine. So it's power to him. That's amazing, but I don't know. I feel like maybe the creativity isn't as strong as it was 30, 40 years ago.
Well, one of the reasons I'm talking about this is because you got something that you wrote yesterday about Ridley Scott is working on an Alien Covenant sequel, which that's another thing. I mean, I'm kind of all in on the Alien, the movies. And the TV show. It's okay, but I really like the movies. What do you think about this? The idea of a sequel for Alien Covenant.
I'm kind of not into it. I didn't like Prometheus, and I really didn't like Covenant. Those are Ridley's two most recent ones. I did like Romulus, which is the most recent one with the young girl Kaylee Spaney, which is kind of a little more action-driven, but set at a different time. Again, I think the biggest issue against this Alien Covenant movie is Ridley Scott himself. Like, his next movie, he's remaking Treasure Island, right, with Hugh Jackman as Blackbeard. And that sounds like really, really cool. But that's going to take 3 years. And so what? Is this man going to make, a new Alien movie when he's 94 years old? I just don't see it. So, like, maybe I kind of read up on Covenant, had a cliffhanger ending. I kind of want to see where that wraps up just to kind of put some cohesion on it. But I don't think it's going to happen.
Coop, Jermaine's right about Prometheus. That was a mess. Prometheus was a mess. But I got to say, when I'm channel surfing and it's on, I do watch it.
Yeah, the TV show was good, though.
It's okay.
I kind of like it.
It's okay.
I love the TV show. Love it.
Yeah. A couple of other things quickly. Wanted to ask you about this. Now Ryan's going to be sad he missed this segment where we're talking about this Star Wars Lego thing that's $800. How big is this thing? The Superstar Destroyer.
Yeah, it measures, it's like 53.5 inches, so it's over 4 feet long, and that's the longest physical Lego set of all time. I think maybe there are one or two that are higher or heavier, or there's definitely more with more pieces, but yeah, pretty epic. But $800, obviously a lot of money, but there have been other Star Wars sets that were $800. There are Lego sets that cost $1,000. So it's not the most expensive Lego set ever. It's actually probably like 5th or 6th on the list, but it is the longest.
Oh, there's 6,000 pieces.
Yeah.
There's 6,000 pieces of this thing. Now, this is not for a child, right? Jermaine,
No.
Let's be honest, man. This is for you, bro. This is your thing.
Absolutely. It's for somebody. It's for a dink. Dual income, no kids. Like I spend my money on Legos and posters, and so and insurance. But it's like, it's called the Ultimate Collector Series. It's a whole segment that Lego does of Star Wars where they're like, this is for adults. It's for displaying. It's not for building and playing with. I built sets that big. They take 40, 50 hours. It's a real time commitment.
So, by the way, if you follow me on X, I will retweet this story when we get to the break. The latest Star Wars Lego is physically the biggest in its history. Finally, we talked about this on our show a little bit yesterday, where Ryan Gosling is going to do a live-action Flintstones. They're going to go for this again. Is this movie going to be about Bam Bam, or what's the story on this?
We don't really know, but all that the kind of rumor mill is saying is that it focuses on Bam Bam when he's older. So you take a side character and then you age him up out of, and then you're like, what is going on? I mean, hypothetically, maybe it's a follow up to the movies from the 90s. Most of those people are still around as far as I can remember. So you have old John Goodman, who's very skinny now.
What?
I'm just guessing. Okay. Otherwise, I don't understand the reason to do it. But I also didn't understand the reason to do a Barbie movie. And that worked out pretty well for Ryan Gosling. So it's a weird concept. We don't know, and they're out for writers, so there's no guarantee it's going to happen. But it's something that somewhere over in Burbank someone's working on.
Man, wouldn't a better idea just be to reboot the Flintstones? I mean, people don't even remember the live-action movies that came out 20 years ago. Just reboot a live-action version of the Flintstones. Don't do like a live-action side character. I mean, how many people even know who Bam Bam is?
Right, exactly. I 100% agree. Like the movie reminds me of like Puss in Boots or Bumblebee,
yes,
which are side characters, but those had big franchise movies before it. It had Shrek or had Transformers. So I don't know how you do this like tertiary character aged out of the character he is, without like that big hit before it. So, but hey, Ryan Gosling at this point can do no wrong. Project Hail Mary, Star Wars, Marvel. And now Flintstones, we'll see.
Yeah. So do you have this Star Wars Lego physically? Do you have it?
No, I don't. I have other ones that are similarly big, but I don't have the room for this one. If I could find a little space, I would get it for sure. But yeah, I don't have it, nor will I be getting it. As far as I know.
All right, Germain Lussier, Gizmodo.com. Germain, thanks, man. I do appreciate it.
Have a good one.
All right, Germain Lussier. Let's take a break, and we'll do the Sound of Sports when we come back.
Hi, I'm Devon Mosby. As a staff consultant at Civil and Environmental Consultants, I've been fortunate to learn from the best mentors in the business. I grew up in West Virginia, and I chose CEC at Martinsburg because I wanted to make a meaningful impact on my Eastern Panhandle community. At CEC, I found opportunities to grow. We connect with clients and the community, showing CEC cares about people, not just profits. At CEC, we engineer progress in the great state of West Virginia.
Find out what CEC can do for you. Visit cecinc.com.
This boating season, elevate your family time with Lou Wendell Marine Sales. Proudly family-owned for over 40 years, Lou and his sons are West Virginia's largest Avalon pontoon dealer. Trusted experts in premium boats, motors, and service. Discover refined comfort, elegant design, and performance you can feel. Now is the perfect time to take advantage of preseason savings. At Lou Wendell Marine Sales, they don't just sell boats. They sell family fun. Visit LouWendellMarineSales.com because the weekend's almost here.
Metro News Hotline, brought to you by Salango Law, will return right after these messages.
I'm here for you. Tell me about school today.
When kids can't find the right words, music can help them sound it out. Talk to the kids in your life about their emotional well-being. Find tools and resources at sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and Pivotal Ventures.
To the big-hearted, the bold, the teachers, the growers, the builders, the change makers, we need you. We are the Peace Corps. In more than 60 countries, we go the distance to make a difference. We're volunteers, partners, communities, bringing our experience, joy, and passion to building a better world together. Are you looking for more? Then we are looking for you. Join us at peacecorps.gov.
I'm Scarlett Johansson. My family relied on public assistance to help provide meals for us. These meals fueled my involvement in theater and the arts as a child, which fostered my love for acting. The Feeding America network of food banks helps millions of people put food on the table. You can join the movement to end hunger by donating, volunteering, and advocating. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Being blind doesn't always look how others may think.
Retinitis pigmentosa aimed to overwhelm my family.
It tried to cut me down. I know where to find support and where I can be seen.
Innovative research, educational resources, supportive community. The Foundation Fighting Blindness is leading the charge in finding treatments and cures for blinding diseases. Learn more at fightingblindness.org. A public service message from the Foundation Fighting Blindness.
The more you listen to your kids, the closer you'll be. So we asked kids, what do you want your parents to hear?
I feel sometimes that I'm not listened to. I would just want you to listen to me more often and evaluate situations with me and lead me towards success.
We're not adults, so just be there and listen. I just want someone to yap to. And I just feel like I'll be fine if someone just hears me talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk.
You're doing a really good job. And I don't think I tell you that enough. And I know sometimes we get into it and it's just hard on both of us, but try to understand me more, and I'll try to do the same.
Listening is a form of love. Find resources to help you support your kids and their emotional well-being at sounditouttogether.org. That's sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and Pivotal.
Every day, we fight to preserve magnificent places and wildlife, to keep our water and air safe, and to advance clean energy and combat climate change. We are Earth Justice, a national legal nonprofit fighting for your right to a healthy environment. We are Earth Justice, and we're here because the Earth needs a good lawyer. No one fights and wins more cases on the environment than we do. Want to join us in this fight? The time is now. Go to earthjustice.org today. That's earthjustice.org.
All right, welcome back to the show. 11 minutes till the hour. Tell you what, let's go ahead and jump into the sound of sports. Let's do that. And we'll start with college football. Kicks off tonight with 4 games in the Division II Mountain East Conference. 2 teams at home. Charleston hosting Grand Valley State. West Liberty at home hosting Walsh. 2 MEC teams facing FCS foes on the road. Concord at Davidson. Glenville playing at Elon. Meanwhile, WVU season opener with Coastal Carolina is now just 9 days away. New linebackers coach Andrew Warwick sounds like he's happy to be here.
West Virginia is the type, this is what I tell the guy, this is the type of place you want to play at. This is the type of place you want to coach at. I came running. This is big-time football with a storied program, right? One of the winningest team to never have won it. And to have a chance to come here, be a part of a staff and a head coach that allows me to be who I am, and embraces that and the standard. Yeah, I'd love to be a part of the staff that can change that narrative, as we're trying to push for it. So it's a place you want to coach at. It's a place you want to play at. This place is, it's a no-brainer.
WVU continues to be a 3-touchdown favorite over Coastal. The first FBS game of the year is Saturday at noon in Ireland as TCU from the Big 12 meets North Carolina. Horned Frogs coach Sonny Dykes says it'll be a new experience for the vast majority of his roster when they get to the Emerald Isle.
Yeah, I think we had 170 people maybe in this meeting room between players, coaches, and staff, and I think there were 4 that raised their hand when we asked how many of them have been to Ireland. So it'll be a new experience for all of us. It's going to be new for me, and looking forward to just kind of getting over there and seeing what it's like. And then we talked to our players obviously a lot about it's going to be different, it's going to be new.
All right, so the line on this game just expanded from yesterday. TCU is now favored by 9.5 in this game against the Heels. Baseball now, the Dirty Birds Atlantic League Series with Lancaster continues tonight at Gomart Ballpark. Last night, the Dirty Birds were shut out by the Lancaster Stormers, 2-0, as Charleston managed just a pair of hits. From the big leagues in San Diego, the Pirates failed to complete a sweep of the Padres, being shut out 3-0. While the Pods' Randy Vasquez was taking care of business on the mound, San Diego's Jackson Merrill doubled, tripled, drove in a run, scored another. He ripped an RBI triple into the right field corner in the 4th inning.
Merrill to right field, a base hit. Machado making his way around the bases. Valdez will get it back in. They're going to try and score. Manny at the plate. He will be safe.
Love Jackson turning on this heater. That's 97. In on the hands. Gets the barrel to it. And he getting around that slide. Padres pick up another run.
The Pirates are now 7.5 games back of the Padres for the last wild card spot. San Diego's won 12 of 17, 22 of their last 31. Here's the Bucks' Don Kelly on the loss to San Diego.
Yeah, it's been frustrating, and I wish that there was a magic pill and wand that we could wave and have the guys get the hits, and there's nobody that wants to get the hits more than the players do, and we have to be better in the approach and better in those moments. That's yes, there is pressure, and that's what you play for, is those moments, to be in them and be able to step up and find a way to get it done.
Pirates stranded 10 runners and were 1 for 13 with runners in scoring position in this game. Just not good enough, according to Brandon Lau.
Is there any consistency to why that didn't happen? Just like
no, plain and simple. I mean, you can throw any number of excuses out there, but plain and simple, we just didn't do it. We just didn't get the job done, and we had the opportunities to do it, and just didn't do it.
Pirates are off tonight. Right-hander Jared Jones will start tomorrow night in the opener of a 3-game set in St. Louis against the slumping Cardinals. In San Francisco for the Reds, it's been a rough year. That's true, but last night's win over the Giants was arguably the best victory of the year. Cincinnati scored 7 runs in the ninth, came all the way back to top the Giants 10-9. In the ninth, Gino Suarez hit a grand slam to make it a 1-run game. Then a sac fly tied the game. Then Tyler Stevenson put the Reds in front for good.
The Reds have scored 7 runs in the last 3 innings of this ball game against the Giants bullpen to tie it.
Turned out over short, base hit. Reds lead. What a rally
a 7-run ninth inning. Oh, my goodness.
For the Reds, it was the first time they rallied to win after trailing by 6 or more runs in the ninth since 1958. For the Giants, this was the largest ninth-inning lead lost in 125 years. After the game, here's Suarez of the Reds talking about Cincinnati's mind-bending comeback.
I think that was the key on this game, do a little things like Dane put down good ball, and then McLean, we had a good at-bats. Like I say, those little things help us to win the games. Obviously, the big hit right there by me, but when you had people in front of you on base, you just want to put the ball in play and do your job, not try to do much, and that's what that happened today. A little thing pay off.
All right, Cincinnati's comeback prevented the Giants from completing their first 3-game sweep of the season. San Francisco's the only team in the majors that has not swept a 3-game set this season. Reds off tonight. Red Lauer will get the ball tomorrow in the opener tomorrow afternoon at Wrigley against the Cubs. Let's take a break, and we'll come back and wrap the hour in a moment.
Metro News Hotline, presented by Salango Law, will return right after these messages.
On the next State of Minds.
I was in liver failure, and I was told I needed to quit drinking or I was going to die, and that was at 36. When he invited me to church, all the hair on my arms, my chest, my back, it all stood up. You're taught to love, you're taught to forgive, and there's a reason for that. It lets you be healthy and lets you move forward with a vision for your life that's not defined by what happened to you.
I think many people have a misconception that all that we do is infertility care, and that's not the case. Reproductive health matters whether or not you're trying to conceive. So we can be dealing with endometriosis, ovulation dysfunction, PCOS. You're getting linked up with all the specialties that you need to optimize your care. Being an advocate for your reproductive health is important. The most rewarding times that I have is when I'm empowering people to take control of their health.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
At Daniel's Men's Store, exceptional style begins with a curated selection and finishes with a flawless fit. When it's time to buy a suit, Daniel's is here to make sure yours is one of a kind. Discover tailored suits you'll only find in-store at Daniel's.
It's our 23rd anniversary, and to celebrate, we're having a huge anniversary sale all month long on all Toyota trucks and pre-owned vehicles. We've discounted over 100 pre-owned vehicles this month, most of which are local one-owner trades. Great deals on all our Toyota trucks, and with over 90 in stock, now is the time to get yours. From our family to yours, we want to thank you for all the support over 23 years. Dan Cava, Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your App Store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
Touchdown!
All right, that's going to do it for the first hour of the show. Let's take a break here at the top of the hour for news. We'll come back, take a look at what happened on Wall Street today, reset our question of the day about how often you use cash, and Larry Groce will be here to talk about Mountain Stage and more. That's coming next. This is Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun. Thanks for checking in. I'm meteorologist Todd Nelson with a look at your local forecast. We are going to see those thunderstorms linger here early this evening, and then clouds will stay with us on Friday. Most of the thunderstorm activity, though, shifting to the east. Heading into the weekend, it will be sunnier, but it is also going to get warmer. How about this August? Really a very wet August. In fact, more than 10 inches of rain in Charleston. That's good enough for the wettest August on record here with more than 7 inches and a surplus. Again, a lot of positive numbers here. And then year to date, seeing those positives, the updated drought monitor showing that we still have abnormally dry conditions farther east in yellow. But today there is that marginal severe threat. Farther east, we do have a slight risk of severe thunderstorms all developing along this particular boundary that, again, will create those thunderstorms through the afternoon and evening. Wind and hail the primary threat, pockets of locally heavy rain, and then by Friday, again, most of that activity shifting to the south and east, but definitely pockets of heavy rain with that. Time now for a Fly CRW forecast throughout Florida. 90s, feels like temperatures into the triple digits, a few thunderstorms on Friday. Again, those lingering clouds for our panhandle forecast. We can't rule out, again, a few leftover showers and storms well off to the east into the afternoon. Spencer at 84, Ripley 85, Parkersburg 83. Again, a couple of showers, isolated thunderstorms. Webster Springs at 79. Again, the best chance of those isolated thunderstorms kind of shifting to the south and east later in the day. But again, just more rain for this very wet August. Again, most of the thunderstorms kind of ending overnight tonight. A couple of leftover into our Friday farther east. Drier, sunnier weekend, but it is going to be warming up Sunday. We're back up to 90.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
This is Metro News Hotline, presented by Salango Law. Metro News Hotline is a 3-hour audio tour.
Navigating the world of sports, news, entertainment, tech, and more.
From a Mountain State point of view, Hotline is a no politics zone.
You can join the conversation.
Text the show at 304-825-5304.
304-TALK-304.
Here's the host for Metro News Hotline, Dave Weekley.
All right, welcome back to the show. Hour number 2, How Do You Do? Metro News Hotline. Keeping you company in West Virginia every weekday afternoon beginning at 3:06 and taking it right through until 6 o'clock. Wherever you're listening to the show today, inside the state or beyond the borders, just trying to get a read on what's going on back home, we hope you're having a good day. Man, another Chamber of Commerce day here in Charleston as we operate out of our flagship 580 WCHS. 82 degrees outside. You got a little high school football in the region tonight, tomorrow as well. So temperature's not too bad. In fact, our flagship 580 WCHS has a really good lid lifter tonight. Nitro, after their great run, so close to winning the AAA state championship last year, taking on resurgent South Charleston. So, Coop, what time's the pregame on that bad boy?
It'll be 6:30 tonight.
6:30 pregame.
Yep.
Oh, pulling out all the stops.
Well, it's a half-hour pregame, and kickoff is at 7. We always go a half hour before kick,
There
so
you
sometimes it's 6:30, sometimes at 7.
Yeah, so, you got some games that are starting at 7 o'clock tonight, and you got a couple other games that are going at 7:30. Let me just check that before I forget it. Okay, so Nitro South Charleston is at 7, as is North Marion at Fairmont East, Martinsburg hosting Hedgesville, Weir at Oak Glen, Cameron at Clay Battelle. That game between Cameron and the Fighting Seabees at Clay Battelle, that'll be streamed live on the Metro News channel. Man and Logan kick off tonight. That game's at 7:30. All right, we'll talk a little bit more high school football a little bit later on in the 5 o'clock hour. Tony Caridi's coming on at the bottom of the hour, 4:33. But Larry Groce is here from Mountain State, so we're going to talk a little bit about music, maybe a little about fishing, and maybe baseball if we have enough time. 5 o'clock hour, Amy Smith on the financial markets. We're going to check the market numbers here in a minute. Kevin Kinder, BlueGoldNews.com at 5:33. Suffice to say, we're packed. We are packed today. Let's go ahead and start with what happened in the financial markets today, where Salesforce and NVIDIA led the market higher. The Dow was up just slightly, 0.2%, gained 105 points today, 53,568. S&P 500 was up 0.75%, tacked on 55 points, 7730. NASDAQ was the big percentage gainer, as I mentioned, Salesforce and NVIDIA. It was up 1.6%, gaining 411 points. NASDAQ closing at 26,541. Among stocks of local interest to West Virginia that were big percentage gainers or losers. When you take a look at this board, it's kind of a mixed bag. Halliburton, though, good day, up 3.3%. Tacked on $1.14, 35.58 at the close today. Kroger down 2.5%, lost $1.47, 57.05 at the close today. And Verizon was down 1.5%, losing 74 cents, 49.45. Verizon, the symbol is VZ. In the energy space today, oil up 1.8%, tacked on $1.48. WTI in the NYMEX, $83.71. Natural gas, pretty good day, currently trading up 2.3%, added 6 cents, $2.91 per unit at the moment. Bitcoin continues to be on a roll. I mean, this thing based at about 60,000 and has been straight up since then, up 1.9% today, gaining nearly 1,500 per coin. It's made the move from 60K to 80,000, trading just under 80,000 right now, 79,907 to be exact. And in the commodities, gold, gold's rocking. It's having a great year, and it's up 0.25% today, adding $12.40 an ounce to $46.2720. Silver, right with it, up 1.8%, gaining $1.29 an ounce, closing today at $70.15. All right, our question of the day. New survey reveals 42% of adults made no cash purchases in a typical week this year. That is up sharply from 24% 11 years ago in 2015. Only 12% now use cash on nearly all purchases. So here's the question of the day, and it's sponsored by Salango Law. When was the last time you paid for something in actual cash, and what did you buy? When was the last time you paid for something in actual cash, and what did you buy? Text those answers in, 304-TALK, 304-304-8255-304. I'm on Exit Weekly, WEEKLEY, one word, 3 E's, WEEKLEY. Harley on X, Dave, a Sunday and a storm 1 hour ago. Toddster says, Dave, I paid cash for a call girl yesterday. Just kidding. I have to take your word for that. Toddster. He's a trickster. Larry Groce is here. Larry, you were making me so jealous with your photos you were sending me of your fishing trip, going out. Coop, he was out on the water with the counselor.
Oh,
so,
yes.
I guess the counselor, after tooling around Europe, he's
been out almost every day. He's gone crazy. I mean, he's been out 2 or 3 times a week before and after his trip to Europe. I've been in hibernation because I had that show that I did. I couldn't go fishing for almost 2 months. So I broke out, and I fished 4 times in 6 days, which is like a lot for me. But I hammered one of them, and I was with him. You're right, Rusty. And he had just caught a big walleye, about a 19-inch walleye, and I caught a 20-inch smallmouth.
You know what? I'm glad you mentioned that show that you did in Marietta. You were tied up with that for quite a while.
It was over a month, and I really couldn't do anything. I was up there most of the time. And funny enough, I went ahead and bought an Ohio fishing license. I tried to fish in the Muskingum at night. It was pointless, but I need to keep throwing.
Larry, I would be remiss if I didn't start by getting your reaction to the passing of Dolly Parton.
You know, Dolly Parton was a really interesting artist, and I'll tell you why. There's a lot of people that are good songwriters and good performers. She was one of the best of those. But you can name others. But here's the deal: at the time when she came up, from the moment she came up with Porter Wagner, Dolly was in charge of her career. Like almost no women and almost no men either. I mean, she looked like she could put on the airhead, and the dumb blonde. Of course, she was never that.
Right.
And she was always then you could laugh at her with the way she looked and the way she dressed, but she would always one up you. She would go back and she had a better joke about herself than you did. But the real thing was she kept her publishing, she kept her intellectual rights to all of her stuff. She was way, way ahead and beyond and very, very smart.
I mentioned to Coop, we talked about this. We've talked a lot about Dolly the last couple of days, that in this era of social media, she might be the last universally loved celebrity.
That's correct.
Right?
And something else, think about it. She's out there and everybody knows her. She's on everything, but you really don't know that much about her personal life.
I know.
And that could be one of the reasons why she was happy and was able to go on, because she kept some things private. and she seemed to be what she was. Nobody's come to the surface and said, she really was a jerk, You don't hear that.
It was funny. The other night after she died, all the networks did specials. ABC did a great one. And inside the ABC special, they had a segment that was maybe 2.5 minutes long that talked about the fact that she had a period in the 80s where she was gaining a little weight and she was having some family issues and actually considered suicide for a while. And I was just taken aback by that.
It doesn't sound like her at all. But even then, there was never lurid headlines.
Never.
Of talking about whatever there is, drugs, alcohol, sex, whatever. That was she was out of that. And you never heard anybody attaching that kind of stuff. Now, sure, maybe she had depression, maybe whatever, but she never made a thing of it, and she didn't have publicists making a thing of it. A lot of people have stuff out there, and it's to make themselves more well-known, and it's not always a good idea.
We never knew hardly anything about her husband, right?
No.
And they were married for 60 years.
And you know what? Good for her.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I want to talk about Mountain Stage, but I did need to mention that the Grand Ole Opry is going to honor Dolly during their show on Saturday, and Carly Pierce, who launched her career at Dollywood, is going to host the show. But Kathy Mattea is going to be on that show.
Oh, great.
She's going to be on with Molly Tuttle and T. Graham Brown, and a whole host of other country stars are going to be on that show.
Oh, that's great.
So that'll be Saturday night at the Opry. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on Mountain Stage on September the 13th here in Charleston.
Yeah, we got a couple of weeks away here, but it's going to be a great, great show. I'll tell you first, before I get to the headliner, Tommy Prine's on the show. Does that ring a bell, that name?
There you go.
It's John's son. He's a pretty good songwriter, too, and he's growing now. He's growing in popularity and in talent, too. We got, you probably don't recognize J2B2. It's John Jorgensen. That really means the John Jorgensen Bluegrass Band, J2B2.
Okay.
But it's John Jorgensen, who is one of the best guitar players and mandolin players, too, in the world. He and Herb Peterson, who were in this band, too, started the Desert Rose Band, if you remember them, with Chris Hillman. They started that. Then he was in a group playing the Telecaster called the Hellcats. He played with Elton John for 8 years. I mean, this guy is a great, great musician and a great songwriter. He also has a whole other group that plays gypsy jazz. He played Django Reinhardt one time in a movie.
Really?
He's that good.
Wow.
Anyway, that J2B2 is going to be on, and Jake Blunt.
How old is he?
He's probably in his 60s, maybe.
If he was in the Desert Rose Band, he's probably closer to 70 than 60.
Yeah, maybe so.
Yeah.
I know Herb is up in 80 or so, but I don't know how old John is. He looks young. I mean, frankly, you see him. Like, he's been on the show several times. And nice guy, too. And the guy named Jake Blunt, who plays old-time banjo and fiddle, traditional music, but he's one of these kind of guys like Rhiannon Giddens, who also does some alt and unusual things with it. He was one of the people that associates for Sinners. He helped do the music for that and pick the music for that movie.
What a huge hit!
And I think he played in it too a little bit. So he plays old time, but more than that. But then the headliner is Margot Price, who's been with us once before, and since then she's really grown. She's really a great singer and songwriter. Originally from Illinois, you always think of her Southern because her voice is kind of that way. But she moved to Nashville a while ago. Grew up in Northern Illinois on farm. She's a farm girl kind of.
Right.
And so now she's got a new record out there. And it has some old Woody Guthrie and Bob Dylan songs on it, and she's on the board of Farm Aid, and so she played the song we're going to hear. She played it at the last Farm Aid. It's a Dylan song that you and I were talking about. We both like it. Maggie's Farm. It's a great, great tune.
Coop, Larry knows my catnip. Here we go, Maggie's Farm. Oh, man. Yeah. Does anybody really know what Maggie's Farm is about?
I mean,
is it about socialism? Is it about Dylan and the record company? What's it about?
If you can figure all that stuff out, David, you write a book, and so everybody wants to know. If you figure it out, just let the rest of us know. Who knows? I mean, it's obviously there's some things in there, no doubt, Dylan pulled out of his own life or somebody else's life and put it all together, and they just don't want to be controlled by somebody else.
Hey, Margot Price, huge star, very popular. Are there tickets left for this show?
Well, I think, I'm not sure. I think there are now, but I'm telling you, folks, it's 2 weeks from Sunday. please get your tickets before that one will sell out.
Yes,
so
it will.
Don't wait till the last week. Go at mountainstage.org and get tickets now, because Margot's great, and she's a really nice person too. I think she's been going out with just 2 or 3 pieces in her, and it's going to be, we'll give her plenty of time to play some songs.
What an interesting artist. I mean, she's another one who's really been through some stuff and come back.
That's correct.
So that's great. So that's going to be a show that'll be on September 13th here in Charleston at the Culture Center. We've got some more artists we got some music of.
Yeah, what I got here is something I thought you might be interested in. Rhonda Vincent was on the show last year, and she had just made a record that Dolly Parton sang Country Roads with her on.
Oh, nice.
But then on the show, she sang 9 to 5, bluegrass style. It's play a little bit of that.
Cool. Let's have it.
Jump in the shower and the blood starts pumping. Out on the street, the traffic starts jumping with folks like me on the job from 9 to 5. Working 9 to 5, what a way to make a living, barely getting by. It's all taken and no giving, they just use your mind, and they never give you credit. It's enough to drive you crazy if you let it. 9 to 5, for service and devotion.
Isn't that great?
Oh, man, what a great song. And
it sounds great, bluegrass style.
It does.
Like that.
It does.
And Rhonda actually sang back up for Dolly way back in the day when she was just starting. So, and she talked about how nice Dolly was to her, and came on her latest record just to sing a harmony with her.
So, Dolly Parton passed away at the age of 80, and 9 to 5, I've been hearing a little chatter this week about maybe they want to make September 25th like Dolly Day going forward. Well, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what people are talking about, and lighting up things, and so forth. And so I would say there's one person in America that a whole lot of people could unify, get behind, and say, yeah, we're for her.
Dolly was 80, and I think we've just been in this period such a long time that people don't really understand that you go back to when she was breaking in. The idea that a performer would write their own songs and perform them was still relatively new.
Especially a woman.
Yes, especially
unbelievable. I mean, and she obviously she was the protege of what's his name, but
Porter Wagner.
Porter Wagner, yeah. But she from the beginning did not. She did what you have to do. She was a second potato there, but she still wrote her songs. She sang her songs. She never gave in. She never gave her stuff to anybody else. Never let anybody tell her what to do. In the end, she was very nice about everything. But no, you didn't push her around. And think when this is 65 years ago.
Oh, I know, it's crazy. When I was growing up, my dad turned me on to the Porter Wagner show. We would watch that show religiously every week, and I remember Dolly. Yeah. And when I was growing up in Bridgeport, the Porter Wagner show would run, and then on the other side of it would be like the Osborne Brothers show.
Yeah, the Wilbur Brothers.
The Wilburn Brothers. That's it.
Wilburn Brothers and Porter Wagner. I watched that every week, man. That was, and I was a teenager then, and that was the thing to watch. And then, therefore, when I did the Danny Boyd movie, Paradise Park, and Porter played the governor of West Virginia.
Nice.
That was a thrill, I must say, at least to meet the guy.
Hey, well, man, I'm glad we got you off the river at least to talk a little bit about this today.
Well, I got to take a day off.
What kind of fish was that you sent me a picture
Smallmouth. That's what I fish for usually. I catch smallmouth.
How heavy was that thing? Did you weigh that bad boy?
Well, no, we were guessing about 4 pounds, 4.5 pounds.
Man, you look like... Coop, Larry had such a big smile on his face with that fish, like the cat that swallowed the bird, man.
My daughter was sitting beside me when we got that text. I was home at lunch, and I showed it to her. She grabbed the phone out of my hand. She's like, "That's a big fish!" And she actually texted Larry on my phone. It was like, "That is an awesome fish."
Oh, that's great.
No, it was, and it's still fun. I don't know. I'm just a big kid. I guess forever. If I catch fish like that, a 20-inch smallmouth will always be thrilling to me.
There you go.
It looked great, yeah.
Really nice. Larry, great to see you.
Good to see you guys.
Thanks for jumping in here. We'll take a break. The Entertainment Report is next. And don't forget, Tony Caridi's coming up in about 10 minutes. Stay tuned.
Don't forget about our podcast.
Check out your favorite podcast provider.
Or simply go to WVMetroNews.com and click on the podcast link.
This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law.
On Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Football season begins right here on Metro News Television. Join us Thursday, August 27th for the 2026 WVSSAC kickoff game. Presented by the Army National Guard. The Cameron Dragons battle the Clay Battelle Seabees live from Blacksville. Don't miss the first kickoff of the new season. The 2026 WVSSAC kickoff game. Thursday, August 27th at 7 p.m. Pre-game coverage starts at 6:30 p.m. Powered by GoMart. Only on Metro News Television.
On the next State of Minds.
I was in liver failure, and I was told I needed to quit drinking or I was going to die, and that was at 36. When he invited me to church, all the hair on my arms, my chest, my back, it all stood up. You're taught to love, you're taught to forgive, and there's a reason for that. It lets you be healthy and lets you move forward with a vision for your life that's not defined by what happened to you.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong.
It's our 23rd anniversary, and to celebrate, we're having a huge anniversary sale all month long on all Toyota trucks and pre-owned vehicles. Thank you for 23 years, Dan Caba, Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
The best selection of WVU apparel is at Daniel's Men's Store. Exclusive designs you won't find anywhere else. Stylish, sophisticated, and unmistakably Mountaineer. Shop in store or online at danielsofmorgantown.com.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
A lot of patients come here without much hope, and I think we can give them hope.
We offer a full spectrum of interventions suitable for every kind of person that walks through our door. We do absolutely everything we can to help you achieve your family building goals.
Okay, so we're going to do public math. So he won 9 his second year at West Virginia, 5 his second year at Michigan, 8 his second year at Arizona, second year at Jack State. He won 9, so it's 31 divided by 4.
Yeah, just under 8 per win or per season.
So there you go, Hunter. You can just forget about everything else and just mark it down.
Put Tony and I down for 8, Coach Hunter. Put us on the prediction show for 8. We already got it.
Sportsline on Metro News Television.
Weird that in this country, old people are treated so poorly for the main reason that they're not good with technology. We have all this brand new technology in the last 12 years. Old people aren't good at it, so we think it's okay to just disrespect them to their face. It's like, you don't have a Gmail account, Grandma? How do you not have a Gmail account? I was born during the Great Depression. I remember when straws were invented.
All right, 428 on the show, almost halfway home on this edition of Metro News Hotline. Thanks so much for tuning in today, folks. I really do appreciate it. Time for Talkin' TV and more. Here are the latest entertainment headlines today from ABC.
ABC Entertainment News.
What do you guys all know about this whole situation?
The ladies of Mom Talk are back for Season 5 of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, and a new trailer teases what's in store.
We might have to have a little drama, which is on brand for Mom Talk.
The new season will premiere on Hulu on September 10th. Disney is the parent company of Hulu and ABC News.
Come one step closer and I will knock his teeth out.
The Once Upon a Time in Hollywood sequel, Cliff Booth, now has a newer, longer, official title, The Further Misadventures of Cliff Booth. The film will be directed by David Fincher and star Brad Pitt in the title role. It's coming to IMAX theaters on November 25th before premiering on Netflix on December 23rd.
I make my move.
Rupert Grint is heading back to Hogwarts. The actor will reprise the role of Ron Weasley in Harry Potter and the Cursed Child on Broadway next year. Grint joins the cast for 17 weeks starting on February 2nd. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Michelle, thank you. We'll take a break here for news at the bottom of the hour. When we come back, Tony Caridi is going to join me. WVU football season opener just over a week away. We're going to talk a little bit about the heat. Is it a concern? We're kind of looking ahead to the weather. We'll talk about that. And what's going on with the Big 12 in terms of the fact that they just passed a rule similar to the one in the SEC and the Big 10 about players coming back to college sports after being in the pros. But the one the Big 12 just passed is a little bit more restrictive. We'll talk about that. This is Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun. Thanks for checking in. I'm meteorologist Todd Nelson with a look at your local forecast. We are going to see those thunderstorms linger here early this evening, and then clouds will stay with us on Friday. Most of the thunderstorm activity, though, shifting to the east. Heading into the weekend, it will be sunnier, but it is also going to get warmer. How about this August? Really a very wet August. In fact, more than 10 inches of rain in Charleston. That's good enough for the wettest August on record here, with more than 7 inches and a surplus. Again, a lot of positive numbers here. And then year to date, seeing those positives, the updated drought monitor showing that we still have abnormally dry conditions farther east in yellow. But today there is that marginal severe threat. Farther east, we do have a slight risk of severe thunderstorms all developing along this particular boundary that, again, will create those thunderstorms through the afternoon and evening. Wind and hail the primary threat. Pockets of locally heavy rain. And then by Friday, again, most of that activity shifting to the south and east, but definitely pockets of heavy rain with that. Time now for a Fly CRW forecast throughout Florida. 90s, feels like temperatures into the triple digits, a few thunderstorms on Friday. Again, those lingering clouds for our panhandle forecast. We can't rule out, again, a few leftover showers and storms well off to the east into the afternoon. Spencer at 84, Ripley 85, Parkersburg 83. Again, a couple of showers. Isolated thunderstorms, Webster Springs at 79. Again, the best chance of those isolated thunderstorms kind of shifting to the south and east later in the day. But again, just more rain for this very wet August. Again, most of the thunderstorms kind of ending overnight tonight. A couple of leftover into our Friday farther east. Drier, sunnier weekend, but it is going to be warming up Sunday. We're back up to 90.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
I love the state of West Virginia. I've met some of my best friends. I'm excited to be back. I still have my pickup truck. I still have four-wheel drive. One of the ladies asked me in the forum if I know how to drive in the snow. I told her, oh, yeah, I spent 5 years in Elkins.
See, that's one of those things. Now that you're coming to Fairmont, you've handled the Elkins winter.
Yeah, if you can handle Randolph County.
You're moving. This basically coming back to Florida here when you get to Fairmont. This is easy.
It's going to be a breeze.
Sportsline on Metro News Television. If it matters in West Virginia, it's being talked about here.
Gentlemen, I could not care less if you read this message. All right, moving on to the next one. 304 Talk 304. Well, they said it, not me.
Oh, it's terrible. Read the guy's book.
Maybe I will, maybe I won't.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows Monday through Friday for Talkline. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
All right, welcome back to the show. 26 minutes till the hour. Tony Caridi is going to join me, talk Mountaineer sports here in just a moment. Speaking of broadcasting, with Tony coming on, seeing that Marshall University announcing today that they're going back to WSAZ. So the Marshall TV rights switching from CHS television to SAZ beginning this year. Marshall announcing a multi-year agreement. So, Marshall and their TV rights were on WSAZ for years, and then flipped back to Channel 8, I want to say 1990, and had a run there and was on SAZ. Flipped back and forth. But anyway, SAZ and Marshall back in business together. That was announced today by Marshall University. Let me do a quick reset on our question of the day because we just got a really interesting take on our question of the day. New survey reveals 42% of U.S. adults made no cash purchases in a typical week this year, up sharply from 24% 11 years ago in 2015. Only 12% now use cash for nearly all purchases. Here's the question of the day, and it is sponsored by Salango Law. When was the last time you paid for something in actual cash, and what did you buy? When was the last time you paid for something in actual cash, and what did you buy? Text those in, 304-TALK, 304-8255-304. I'm on Exit Weekly, WEEKLEY. Coop, get a load of this. 571-205. Dave, I'm starting to think that you're watching me. I stopped by the bank to grab some cash to make a purchase at our local butcher shop. They give you a discount if you pay in cash. I sat down in my car, turned the radio on, and you were asking the question of the day. This is not creepy at all. What do you make of that? What do you make of that?
Not creepy at all.
No, not creepy at all. Not creepy at all. Let me bring Tony Caridi into the mix to talk about the Mountaineers and more. How you doing today, Tony? Tony, come in.
Hey, Dave. How are you?
I got you, brother.
He's there. I just pulled it up too slow.
I know. That story, I made you laugh so hard.
I fell over
You're
in my chair.
playing with your power tools in there, aren't you?
No, I fell over in my chair from your
Oh,
you had it right
I'm sure.
I used cash on Saturday.
What'd you buy?
Donuts.
Nice.
We got a
nice
hot donut place. We got a hot donut place in Morgantown. Great story developing. Young kid just graduated from high school, opened up a donut place in Star City.
Nice.
Really good.
Hey, Coop, get your power tools.
Okay.
Get your power tools and let Tony hear the power tools.
Here
we go. Yeah.
I heard. I was listening earlier.
He already talked to me about it, man. We did a deep dive on that.
All right.
We already talked about it. That was quite interesting.
Chris Lawrence and I were talking about spot charts yesterday. And he mentioned your spot charts. Were your ears burning when he talked about you? He was giving you mad props for your extensive spot charts.
Yeah, well, the business has kind of become standardized. There's a gentleman out of Harrisonburg, Virginia,
right,
that does Tony Britt. So Tony Britt does well over 200 announcers now, NFL and college, and I still do the bio notes, but they provide the name, number, high school, hometown, stats on a weekly basis. So that certainly has helped. It's gone a long way, Dave, since the manila folder and the Sharpie markers.
That's exactly right. All right, so the opening game for West Virginia is 9 days away. So how are you doing on your charts? Or do you wait until you get the game notes? Because that used to be my trick. I would just wait till the game notes come out.
I'm done with West Virginia because I started on them a couple of weeks ago because there's so many new guys. There's no way I would have been able to get it done if I just would have waited. And I'm getting ready literally today to start on the Chanticleers of Coastal Carolina.
The Pride of Conway. So in your first set of game notes, how many running back bios have you built?
Oh, I'll probably have 4 running backs, probably 4 running backs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well, it's not going to be. You never know how these games go, right? But it may not be a blowout. It's not. I think a lot of people kind of think these first games of the season, unless you're playing at Penn State or Alabama or whatever, that the game is essentially going to be over at halftime. Normally, that's not the way this works.
No, and I. My thought on that is that even though hopefully the score will be, out there a little bit, I still think with so many new people on this team, Dave, you've got a big Virginia game coming up, week 3. I think these guys need to get like lubed and oiled up and like playing together. And there's only one way to do that in real game action. So like, I wouldn't be surprised if you kind of milk these guys, even though the score might hopefully be away. You got to let these guys play because, it's going to get real week 3.
Hopefully you're not going to have to worry about too much heat. This is it's an early game. It's a nooner, right?
Well,
it's a nooner.
I mean, you could have the peak sunshine of noon. Now next week, I think it's going to get hotter than it has been of late, which, okay, that's fine. They're going to get some good heat today. It's 81 right now, and they're literally on the field right now. But like next Saturday, looking ahead, 78 as the high right now.
Yeah, I was looking at Marshall's game at Penn State, Happy Valley, a week from Saturday. Game time supposed to be 75. So, we're not in the middle of a heat wave. But there have been some Labor Day weekend games that have been pretty miserable for fans. Hopefully that won't be the
goodness. I remember, I don't know how many years ago this has been. No, it's not funny. I'm not laughing. But the band, if I'm not mistaken, had new uniforms with capes, and they kind of like kept them on.
Oh man!
And that didn't go well. There were some people that took a down there, a little bit of a feigning thing going on there. That was many years ago. I remember one game early season. Remember, we used to play Maryland early. It was at Maryland, and we were doing it back then in the old days of MSN TV. And back then, would actually wear makeup when we would do TV. And it was so hot, that stuff was dripping. And I looked down, my shirt is just ridiculous. Now, TV, you used to do it. That makeup back in that day was like really like oily, clowny stuff. Awful. Orange, right? Orange stains. And I was just, the stains were just like dripping all over. Shirt was completely drenched. As you know, in that area there, they get a lot of humidity. But I do remember that one. So, yeah, it gets hot early. Football's a wild game, isn't it? I mean, you practice right now in the heat of the summer. It gets hot for your first, 4 games of the season. Then things start to chill. And then, by the time the season is coming to an end, you could literally be in snow. So it just hits every single spectrum of the weather by the time the season's over, and it's only really 12 weeks.
Hey, a couple of things I wanted to ask you also, general things about sports. Big 12 has jumped into the pool here, basically saying that they've unanimously agreed to ban professionals from returning, not just in football, but from all sports, okay? So no pros. You can't go pro and then come back to the Big 12, which I think is the right move. But I did want to ask you a question. I sent you a note about this earlier today. Eagle staff, when he played for West Virginia, he thought he was out of eligibility, and he was playing in the NBA Summer League. Would this rule have affected him? Could he come back to West Virginia now after playing in an NBA Summer League?
If I read the rule correctly, if your name is ever on a roster, then you're done. And I would assume his name was on their roster for the Summer League, so he probably would be done.
Yeah, so I'm guessing he signed with the Knicks, right? So and then it got assigned to the Summer League. Now he's on a roster. I think he's at UC San Diego or somewhere out in California. Correct. Okay.
Yep.
So does that mean he's still eligible for them, right?
He's still eligible for them. That's correct. So far it's been the SEC, the Big 10, the Big 12. I don't know if the ACC has formally come out, but they will. But right now he would be. And I have someone that is a Three Guys listener who obviously is an attorney, and they send me these copious notes on all of these cases that are going on. And I got one an hour ago that read, and I can't read, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it's long. But it basically, the gist of it is the Federal Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals in Richmond, who oversees the courts in West Virginia, Maryland, North Carolina, South Carolina, has reversed the injunction granted in the Jamari Robinson JUCO eligibility case. You remember that one?
Yeah.
West Virginia. So the long and the short of it is that this person closes in and says, bottom line, this bodes well for the NCAA overall. It almost assuredly means that Brennan Lorien's case and Javen Buchanan's case, now pending before Judge Bailey, will remain ineligible until the 10th Circuit Court of Appeals decides the Colorado case. And then I wrote back and I said, okay, when's that supposed to happen? And they said it's on expedited appeal, and the opening brief due 9/1, athletes brief due 9/8. And if the NCAA chooses to go another, they could go September 11. Long and the short of it is, this thing is, he says, TC, short answer, I don't know. But like, this is going to get close to like when we're really going to start. He said the court will either slide the case into its existing September 14 through 17 sessions or order a special session outside of its standard calendar. So this is all still, we've got a lot of chickens that are already counted, but I don't know which way this thing is going to end.
That is crazy. That's a crazy story. Hey, I'll get you out of here on this. I'm sure you probably saw this story about the blow up between TCU and the Fort Worth Star-Telegram.
Yes, I did.
So the reporter for the Star-Telegram reported a story about two players fighting, and the school didn't like it. That they felt like that he was giving out information that should have stayed behind closed doors. And so the Star-Telegram lost their credentials to cover TCU. And, of course, that kind of stinks because TCU's playing in Ireland on Saturday, okay? Mm-hmm. I think this is really interesting because you think that, West Virginia's in the Big 12, and you would think that playing these types of schools, the TCUs and the Houstons that are in these big metropolitan areas, that they would have lots of media that cover these teams, right? Because the areas are so big and the publications are so big. That's really not the case, right? I mean, when you look around the league, the West Virginias and the Iowa States, the schools that are in more rural regions, the school, what's going on at those schools is a little bit more newsworthy than it might be at Houston, where what would it take for the Houston Cougars to actually get on the front page of the sports section? Something massive, right?
Yeah, you're exactly right. Your point is well taken. It's the quote-unquote smaller media market schools that get the more coverage, right? Baltimore area, we talked about Maryland football a second ago. I mean, they struggle to get coverage. Same with TCU, with all of the pro sports that are there and going on. So, yeah, it's kind of the opposite of what you would think it would be in bigger markets. You would get more saturated coverage in places like Morgantown or West Virginia as a whole, and in Iowa with Iowa State. You get more there, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, TCU, this is a situation where they have very few people who cover that team on a day-to-day basis. Even in Fort Worth, to get on the front page of the sports section, and basically has to mean nothing's going on with the Cowboys and the Rangers or the Dallas Stars or the Texas Longhorns or whatever, Oklahoma. This could potentially be a problem for them if they can't get along with the big newspaper that's located in their town.
Yeah, it's interesting. So my gut tells me, so they got really amped up over the reporting of this. The truth is probably somewhere in the middle. That's a pretty emotional move, I think, by TCU. I don't think over the long haul that will bode well for them, and we'll see how the thing plays out. But to your point, the Fort Worth Star-Telegram, is still a major player as far as the media market goes, and they would be better served to have a good relationship than a non-existent one.
Yeah, no question. Hey, Tony, thanks for your time today, and maybe we'll do more Spot Chart talk next week.
Yeah, whatever you need, I'll have them done by then, buddy.
Tony Caridi, thanks. Let's take a quick break, and we'll come back with the On the State File in a moment.
Metro News Hotline, presented by Salango Law, will return right after these messages.
On the next State of Minds.
I was in liver failure, and I was told I needed to quit drinking or I was going to die, and that was at 36. When he invited me to church, all the hair on my arms, my chest, my back, it all stood up. You're taught to love, you're taught to forgive, and there's a reason for that. It lets you be healthy and lets you move forward with a vision for your life that's not defined by what happened to you.
This week on the Metro News Television Game of the Week powered by GoMart, the Grafton Bearcats travel to Philip Barber for the Week 1 matchup. Join us Friday, August 28th at 7 p.m. for complete live coverage from George Breyer Field. Watch live on Metro News Television, YouTube, and Facebook. Bearcats versus Colts. Friday, August 28th at 7 p.m. The Metro News Television Game of the Week, powered by GoMart.
I think many people have a misconception that all that we do is infertility care, and that's not the case. Reproductive health matters whether or not you're trying to conceive. So we can be dealing with endometriosis, ovulation dysfunction, PCOS. You're getting linked up with all the specialties that you need to optimize your care. And being an advocate for your reproductive health is important. The most rewarding times that I have is when I'm empowering people to take control of their health.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
It's our 23rd anniversary, and to celebrate, we're having a huge anniversary sale all month long on all Toyota trucks and pre-owned vehicles. We've discounted over 100 pre-owned vehicles this month, most of which are local one-owner trades. Great deals on all our Toyota trucks, and with over 90 in stock, now is the time to get yours. From our family to yours, we want to thank you for all the support over 23 years. Dan Cava, Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
The best selection of WVU apparel is at Daniel's Men's Store. Exclusive designs you won't find anywhere else. Stylish, sophisticated, and unmistakably Mountaineer. Shop in store or online at danielsofmorgantown.com.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
Touchdown!
All right, welcome back. 8 till the hour. And let's get into the On This Date file. Start with the birthdays. Begin with the sports birthdays. Pretty good sports birthday today. Buddy Bell. Buddy Bell, great player. Primarily with the Indians, the Rangers. Played for the Reds briefly. Managed 3 baseball teams. Pittsburgh guy, 75 years old. Bernard Longer. He won the Masters in 85. He's 69 years old today. Mike Maddox. Greg Maddox's brother. He pitched for 9 teams in 15 years. He has been the pitching coach for 6 different teams. Just got fired by the Angels a couple weeks ago. Knows a lot about pitching. 65 years old. Jim Thome, one of the good guys. One of the good guys. Jim Thome is 56 years old today. Played for a bunch of teams, primarily the Indians. He was on the White Sox when they won the World Series. Here he is, career home run number 600. It came on August 15th, 2011 for the Twins.
Deep to left field. This ball's high. It's deep. Number 600 for Jim Thome.
Everybody out on the field. All the Twins. Get out there.
Welcome to the 600 Club.
Very nice, Jim Tomey.
There you go. Coop, that's the way to do it. Tomey hit 599 and 600 in the same game. That is the way to do it. Also having a birthday today, Sergeant Slaughter from wrestling. He's 78 years old. Let's flash back to when he won the WWE Championship, dethroning the Ultimate Warrior in 91.
What is this, home run? It's 3 against 1 here. The referee, I don't think so. No, not like this. What is this? No, oh, wait a second, no, they can't allow this. Certainly they're not going to allow this. No, there's going to be officials coming out. He might have had a disqualification here, I hope. That's obvious. The king came out with a scepter.
He hit him with a scepter. Is that legal? I guess it's not legal in professional wrestling. Our birthday to the break, musical birthday to the break. How great is it that Rush is back out on the road? Alex Lifeson, guitarist for Rush, is 73 years old today. The 5 things to know at 5 o'clock in sports are coming back in just a minute.
Salango Law on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
On the next State of Minds.
I was in liver failure, and I was told I needed to quit drinking or I was going to die, and that was at 36. When he invited me to church, all the hair on my arms, my chest, my back, it all stood up. You're taught to love, you're taught to forgive, and there's a reason for that. It lets you be healthy and lets you move forward with a vision for your life that's not defined by what happened to you.
This week on the Metro News Television Game of the Week, powered by GoMart, the Grafton Bearcats travel to Philip Barber for the Week 1 matchup. Join us Friday, August 28th at 7 p.m. for complete live coverage from George Breyer Field. Watch live on Metro News Television, YouTube, and Facebook. Bearcats versus Colts. Friday, August 28th at 7 p.m. The Metro News Television Game of the Week, powered by GoMart.
I think many people have a misconception that all that we do is infertility care, and that's not the case. Reproductive health matters whether or not you're trying to conceive. So we can be dealing with endometriosis, ovulation dysfunction, PCOS. You're getting linked up with all the specialties that you need to optimize your care. Being an advocate for your reproductive health is important. The most rewarding times that I have is when I'm empowering people to take control of their health.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
It's our 23rd anniversary, and to celebrate, we're having a huge anniversary sale all month long on all Toyota trucks and pre-owned vehicles. We've discounted over 100 pre-owned vehicles this month, most of which are local one-owner trades. Great deals on all our Toyota trucks, and with over 90 in stock, now is the time to get yours. From our family to yours, we want to thank you for all the support over 23 years. Dan Cava, Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
The best selection of WVU apparel is at Daniels Men's Store. Exclusive designs you won't find anywhere else. Stylish, sophisticated, and unmistakably Mountaineer. Shop in store or online at danielsofmorgantown.com.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your App Store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
Sports headlines at 5 o'clock. High school football around West Virginia tonight. Half a dozen games on a Thursday night, including Nitro at South Charleston on our flagship 580 WCHS. College football kicking off tonight as well. There are 4 games tonight featuring teams from the Mountain East. Here in Charleston, Grand Valley State will be in town to play the University of Charleston. The Pirates are off tonight. The Reds likewise. The Dirty Birds will host Lancaster at Gomart Ballpark. And this afternoon, the Cardinals beat the Orioles 7-5. This is Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun. Thanks for checking in. I'm meteorologist Todd Nelson with a look at your local forecast. We are going to see those thunderstorms linger here early this evening, and then clouds will stay with us on Friday. Most of the thunderstorm activity, though, shifting to the east. Heading into the weekend, it will be sunnier, but it is also going to get warmer. How about this August? Really a very wet August. In fact, more than 10 inches of rain in Charleston. That's good enough for the wettest August on record here, with more than 7 inches and a surplus. Again, a lot of positive numbers here. And then year to date, seeing those positives, the updated drought monitor showing that we still have abnormally dry conditions farther east in yellow. But today there is that marginal severe threat. Farther east, we do have a slight risk of severe thunderstorms all developing along this particular boundary that, again, will create those thunderstorms through the afternoon and evening. Wind and hail the primary threat, pockets of locally heavy rain. And then by Friday, again, most of that activity shifting to the south and east, but definitely pockets of heavy rain with that. Time now for a Fly CRW forecast throughout Florida. 90s, feels like temperatures into the triple digits, a few thunderstorms on Friday. Again, those lingering clouds for our panhandle forecast. We can't rule out, again, a few leftover showers and storms well off to the east into the afternoon. Spencer at 84, Ripley 85, Parkersburg 83. Again, a couple of showers, isolated thunderstorms. Webster Springs at 79. Again, the best chance of those isolated thunderstorms kind of shifting to the south and east later in the day. But again, just more rain for this very wet August. Again, most of the thunderstorms kind of ending overnight tonight. A couple of leftover into our Friday farther east. Drier, sunnier weekend, but it is going to be warming up Sunday. We're back up to 90.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
This is Metro News Hotline, presented by Salango Law. Metro News Hotline is a 3-hour audio tour.
Navigating the world of sports, news, entertainment, tech, and more.
From a Mountain State point of view, Hotline is a no politics zone.
You can join the conversation.
Text the show at 304-825-5304.
304-TALK-304.
Here's the host for Metro News Hotline, Dave Weekley.
All right, welcome back to the show. It's 5:06 in West Virginia. Time to start the third and final hour of our program today, Metro News Hotline. Thanks so much for tuning in today, folks. Got a lot of stuff to get into in this particular hour, so we're glad you're tuned in. This has been a busy show. Man, it's been a show that has gone flying by, too. But we still got a lot of stuff to do. We'll take a quick peek at what happened as we set our question of the day. We've had a lot of responses to that. I want to get into more of those in a minute. Amy Smith is going to be joining me to talk about the stock market. So, last night after the close, NVIDIA reported and the stock was up 8-9% today. And that's a big move. That's a big percentage move for such a big stock. It's got the largest market cap of any stock on the planet and appears to be on a collision course with $5.5 trillion of market cap. That's trillion with a T. So, it takes a lot to move a stock that big. So we'll be asking Amy about that. One of the things about this segment, we've been doing it for years. Every Thursday at 5 o'clock, we just like to take about 10 minutes to talk about your questions about stocks, your thoughts on the direction of the financial markets. So if you've got a question about that, it's a really good idea to give Amy a chance to break down some of your questions about any individual stocks. Text those in. By the way, if you've already texted stuff in, I've already seen it. We're going to get to those. So if you've sent stuff in already today, we're going to get to those questions. If you've got a question or a comment, send me a text on that, 304-TALK-304, 304-825-5304, and we'll get to that in just a couple of minutes. A little bit later on, we'll play In or Out. That'll be at 5:25. Kevin Kinder, BlueGoldNews.com, joins me at 5:33. Tony Caridi was here about an hour ago, but I want to get I haven't talked to Kevin in a couple of weeks. So we're going to talk a little bit about Mountaineer football. And one of the things we haven't even talked about today with so much stuff going on, the Steelers are playing tonight. There's a half a dozen high school football games in the region. Mountain East Conference has got some games. We haven't even talked about soccer. So WVU men, women, Marshall men and women, they're all playing tonight. We'll give you the layout on that. Also keep you updated on what's going on in the baseball picture as we get a little closer to the end of the show. Let's go ahead and do a quick reset on our question of the day. Get a couple of responses to that. Question of the day. New survey reveals that 42% of adults made no cash purchases in a typical week this year. Now that's up sharply from 24% just 11 years ago in 2015. To only 12%, just 12% of us now use cash for nearly all purchases. How about that? So here is the question of the day, and it's sponsored by Salango Law. When was the last time you paid for something in actual cash, and what did you buy? When was the last time you paid for something in actual cash, and what did you buy? You know the text line, 304-TALK, 304-304-8255, 304. I'm on Exit Weekly, WEEKLEY, one word, 3 E's, WEEKLEY. Let me get a couple of responses to this. 304-672. Coop, you see this? A two-word answer. Italian bread. Simple and to the point. Simple and to the point. And a rather smart purchase. I'm going to guess that's probably from my stomping grounds in north central West Virginia. Here's a comment about football. I probably should have addressed this earlier today. 304-288. Hey, Dave, there are 6 FCS games on ESPN Plus tonight. I'm not sure which one or two to focus on. If applicable on your show, could you mention any of the games that have current West Virginia ties? If none, never mind. Thanks. That's Doug in Morgantown. You know what, Doug? I think I can help you, brother. I think I can help you on that because I was looking at some of that stuff earlier today as well. There are a bunch of games on. In fact, I think the 2 games in which MEC teams are on the road and playing FCS teams, those games are on ESPN Plus. I was looking at this earlier today. The game where Concord is playing at Davidson, that's an ESPN Plus game, and the game that Glenville is playing at Elon, that is also an ESPN Plus game tonight. Now, let me see if I got this right. Now, I believe, Davidson is in, which league are they in? They're in the Pioneer League, which is an FCS league, relatively new. And Elon is in the CAA, which used to be the old Colonial. So I think I've got that right. I'll make sure. I'll check on that. Oh, wait a minute. I found it. Okay, here I did find it. Yeah, Glenville, Elon. No, I take that back. I made a mistake on that. Glenville, Elon is on Flow tonight. So that's not going to help you. But Concord at Davidson, that is on ESPN Plus. Thanks for your question. All right, let's get Amy Smith in here to talk about the financial markets. Now, Amy is in Los Angeles right now. She's been out in California for a while, but she's from our state. She's from West Virginia. She grew up in the Elkins area, and she is, after all, the shining pride of Randolph County. I tell you what, Amy, you do any more successful cooking, I'm going to have you send me something,
Well,
So tell me about this chowder contest you just won last weekend. What's the story on that?
okay, so as you know, the hobby that I have is cooking. And so I entered the Crew Winery Chowder Contest, and it was up in Monterey. And so mine was a Mexican Cobb clam chowder, kind of a Boston clam chowder meets a Mexican Cobb salad. So you have the creamy potato base, poblano pepper for that southwestern flavor, and then you top it with the things that you would find in the Mexican Cobb salad: bacon, cilantro, cotija cheese, avocado, pico de gallo. So it's kind of like East Coast meets West Coast clam chowder, and I won.
Nice.
I won.
Oh, I see. Well, your husband's from Boston. Is that fair that you can, I'm sure he can help you with a little tip or two about the chowder?
Exactly, because it was that creamy potato base, but then you have to do something different and unique. So that's why the Mexican Cobb with the California comes in. And so I combined the two, and I have to say, it was pretty tasty. And, since you're a sports guy, Dave, I was up there by the 17-mile drive and the Pebble Beach golf course, and boy, is that pretty.
Oh, yeah, no, you're absolutely right about that. All right, the markets. Hey, so you probably heard me talk about it in the setup. It takes a lot to move a stock like NVIDIA, right?
Right.
And now that the market cap is getting bigger and bigger, on its way to $5.5 trillion. I mean, I saw some stats yesterday that prior to yesterday, 5 of the 6 previous earning reports, NVIDIA had actually gone down after reporting. That was really not the case today. It was up in the aftermarket after earnings yesterday, and it's roaring higher today. What's your take on NVIDIA right now? What do you think?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it is hard to knock this company. First of all, they posted a hefty revenue beat. It was $96 billion versus $91 billion, which is the estimate. That's kind of a big beat. There you go, like $5 billion in the revenue beat. They said that going forward, their revenue growth is looking, this whole year, this next year is going to be great, that more and more people are needing their chips. And, they didn't just have an okay report. They had a wow report. And as you say, I think there was 225 million shares traded. And you look at the price of the stock, it's just on fire today, Dave.
All right. We got listener questions. I wish we had more questions about your award-winning chowder, but we have questions about the stock market. Are you ready for a couple?
Oh, you bet.
I love this one, by the way, from a listener, 304-377. Hey, Dave, ask Amy, what percentage of a portfolio should be represented by non-U.S. stocks? And would the Vanguard Total International Stock ETF, VXUS is the symbol, be a good choice to represent that portion of a portfolio? Thank you both for your time. Well, the old adage is that you're supposed to have about 20% of international stocks in your portfolio. Does that still hold true?
Well, I'll tell you what, I really, the ones that I study are those that trade on our stock exchange. So I really don't venture too much into the international world. However, this ETF, VXUS, the problem here is I think it's a smart question. Should you have some exposure to the stock market other than ours? The problem is here, Dave, when I look at the chart, it really hasn't gone much of anywhere for the year. It's up a little bit, but I think you're almost better off sticking with the U.S. funds, in my opinion.
Well, the other thing is, if you're into some of these bigger plays like the Googles and the Microsofts and those are international stocks, right? I mean, they do business around the world.
Yeah, in fact, many of our American companies do have exposure all over the world. That's very true. So that way I feel more secure, investing in the stocks that I know that are based on our stock exchange.
Yeah. I kind of follow international stocks just to the point where I'm looking at individual nation markets, and that can be a little bit of an interesting game. But the old adage used to be about 20% needs to be in international stocks. All right, here's another question, 304-625. Dave, could you ask Amy about UPS? Oh, there you go. We haven't talked about that. Is it going to do better off without Amazon? UPS today, a relatively quiet day. UPS is the symbol, ironically enough. It traded today just south of 106. 106, and for the year, not a lot of action here, up about 4.5%. What do you think about the chart of UPS?
Well, it's a little bit on the sleepy side. Now, will they do any better in the future? That's going to depend on some of the gas prices and so on. It has, I would say, the last 4 days here, it's gotten a little bit of a pop, not a whole lot, like 2%, and then another couple percentage points. It's not super strong here, so it's hard for me to see how it's going to do in the future.
Hey, before we wrap this up, I did want to ask you about CrowdStrike. So CrowdStrike also reported earnings after the bell last night, and it's having it had a great quarter and has been a really good stock. I think the thing's up about 85% year to date. This whole area of cybersecurity becomes more and more important, and all three of these are the main players in this space. The CrowdStrikes, the Oktas, the Palo Altos, they've all done pretty well this year. What do you think of the group?
Yeah, the whole group, Palo Alto, FTNT, CrowdStrike, Avago, Zscaler, and Okta. And you're right, the shares. What's really become apparent here is that we have this AI rally, but in that rally, you have to have the cybersecurity as well. So you're right. Okta was up. The CrowdStrike, they Zoomed today on their earnings report. So it's a very, very strong group.
Hey, before we get out of here, what are your thoughts on Salesforce? I mean, this has been a really difficult stock to make money in. Previously it was a high flyer. There's a lot of talk about Salesforce and what the future is going to hold for a company like that in terms of AI. CRM is the symbol. Is it safe to maybe look at Salesforce again?
Oh, I definitely think so. They increased their full year view on the AI traction. Their revenue increased from a year earlier in their fiscal quarter. They've got strategic investments. They also had this gain on a strategic investment in the startup Anthropic. They have a lot of things going right for them. They had a great earnings report. And as you said, the stock, again, there were so many stocks today, Dave, that talk about rallying. This was up more than 11%. I'm not sure where it closed earlier on. Yes, there's another one. This group, this infrastructure, anything to do with the AI, the cybersecurity, that whole area is strong.
All right, got to leave it there. Amy, congratulations on your award-winning chowder. And we've started another streak today. The markets were up across the board. So I'm happy. And if you're happy, I'm happy. How's that?
Absolutely. And, I'll have to find a way to ship you some food, Dave. That's all there is to it. You and Dale, you and Coop.
Well, now you got Coop's attention. You just woke him up in there.
Yeah.
You talk about food. Yeah, I woke him up.
Hey, Amy, thanks for your time today. Talk to you next week.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, Amy Smith. There you go. I bet that chowder is kicking. You know what?
Man, and she got me weak because I'm hungry right now.
Me too.
I'm getting hungry.
Me too. Let's take a break. We'll play in or out in just a moment.
Hi, I'm Donna Spencer, a highway engineering technician at Civil and Environmental Consultants in Bridgeport, West Virginia. At CEC, we are employee-owned, and I truly own my role. I am close to home, working on local projects that matter, and it feels good knowing my hard work directly benefits my community. At CEC, we engineer progress in the great state of West Virginia.
Find out what CEC can do for you. Visit cecinc.com.
Ready to make this boating season unforgettable? Head to Lou Wendell Marine Sales, family owned and operated for over 40 years and West Virginia's largest Avalon pontoon dealer. Lou and his sons are boating experts from sales to service to repairs. And right now, their lot is packed with incredible inventory and some of the best deals of the season. Whether it's weekends on the lake or sunset cruises with the family, Lou Wendell Marine Sales has your perfect boat waiting. Because they don't just sell boats, they sell family fun. Visit LouWendellMarineSales.com today.
You can call us at 800-765-8255. Text us at 304-825-5304. Or tweet at WEEKLEY. This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
This week on the Metro News Television Game of the Week, powered by GoMart. The Grafton Bearcats travel to Philip Barber for the Week 1 matchup. Join us Friday, August 28th at 7 p.m. for complete live coverage from George Breyer Field. Watch live on Metro News Television, YouTube, and Facebook. Bearcats versus Colts. Friday, August 28th at 7 p.m. The Metro News Television Game of the Week, powered by GoMart.
The best selection of WVU apparel is at Daniel's Men's Store. Exclusive designs you won't find anywhere else. Stylish, sophisticated, and unmistakably Mountaineer. Shop in store or online at danielsofmorgantown.com.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
I think many people have a misconception that all that we do is infertility care, and that's not the case. Reproductive health matters whether or not you're trying to conceive. So we can be dealing with endometriosis, ovulation dysfunction, PCOS. You're getting linked up with all the specialties that you need to optimize your care. And being an advocate for your reproductive health is important. The most rewarding times that I have is when I'm empowering people to take control of their health.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
It's our 23rd anniversary, and to celebrate, we're having a huge anniversary sale all month long on all Toyota trucks and pre-owned vehicles. We've discounted over 100 pre-owned vehicles this month, most of which are local one-owner trades. Great deals on all our Toyota trucks, and with over 90 in stock, now is the time to get yours. From our family to yours, we want to thank you for all the support over 23 years. Dan Cava, Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your App Store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
Touchdown!
All right, welcome back. Hey, you know what? It's time to play in or out. Let's do it. Two-man bobsled edition. I kind of like these, by the way. Every day at this time, we focus on the stuff you talk about at the office. We call it in or out. The setup, simple. 3 categories. Food or beverage. Gut reaction. Finally, this one's about a celebrity. The topics of which change daily. Let's get started with food or beverage. Coop, are you ready to go?
Yes, I am.
Because it was on this date in 1940 that Nestle registered the trademark Toll House for their chocolate chip cookies. Now, the original chocolate chip cookie, the Toll House cookie, was invented by Ruth Graves Wakefield in the 30s. Ruth and her husband Kenneth owned the Toll House Inn near Whitman, Massachusetts. Ruth cooked for her guests and one day had to substitute semi-sweet chocolates for baker's chocolate in the cookie recipe. She chopped the chocolate into bits, but when she took the cookies out of the oven, the semi-sweet chocolate had not melted into the dough as the baker chocolate had. Those cookies with the chocolate chips were an immediate hit. All right? We're talking about Toll House cookies. In or out?
Man, I would have been in before the story, but what a nice little nugget of a story about, they're chocolate chip cookies. I mean, how can you go wrong with these things? And what a nice, interesting tidbit between the baker's chocolate and the semi-sweet chocolates and the textural difference that gives. I am in on every aspect of this story. Absolutely. I could not be more positive about it.
By the way, the official state cookie of the state of Massachusetts is the Toll House. But in 2001, an effort to vote in the chocolate chip cookie as the official cookie of Pennsylvania was defeated. Read into that what you will.
What does it mean?
Read into that what you will. All right, gut reaction is next. New survey reveals the average American runs out of energy at 2:48 p.m. every day. 2:48 p.m. A poll of 2,000 adults found 1 in 5 people feel their energy fading after noon, and a striking 82% say they operate on autopilot, simply going through the motions. But running out of energy at 2:48 p.m. Eastern Time, just about the time our show starts. Right?
So let me get this right. According to the study, it's around 3 o'clock that you run out of energy, and then you just coast the rest of the day?
That's pretty much what it says.
Hell yeah, that's my day, man, every day. I'm in on that. That sounds exactly right. Are you kidding me?
I have to No, see, I gotta time my fade, right? I gotta time my fade. So I'm gonna. Well, listen. This thing says people run out of energy at 2:48, and my show starts at 3. I'm contractually obligated to be out on that. Okay?
Of course.
Okay, I got to be out on that.
Of course.
All right, finally, this one's about a celebrity. Oh, look who's getting a TV show.
Who?
Blake Griffin.
Blake Griffin.
Blake Griffin, the former NBA All-Star. Blake Griffin is getting a weekly late-night show called The Step Back with Blake Griffin. It debuts October 20th on Prime Video and YouTube. Episodes are going to drop every Tuesday. No guests. No guests. Only commentary about sports stuff. And he says it's drawing comparisons to John Oliver's format last week tonight on HBO. Blake Griffin, in or out?
As I remember about him, he's a well-spoken guy, but I don't remember a whole lot about him otherwise. The concept, sort of an investigative show that goes, this sounds like maybe a shorter version of like a Pablo Torre or something, maybe a little bit. Frankly, I mean, I don't know about Blake Griffin, but the content sounds like a winner to me. I'm going to be in on this. I am very positive about this development.
Hey, man, I remember just a few years ago, he and his brother were wrecking havoc in the Civic Center against WVU basketball when he was playing for Oklahoma. Really good player. Yeah, I'm going to be in on Blake Griffin. All right, we'll take a break for news here at the bottom of the hour. Kevin Kinder on the Mountaineers and more when we come back. This is Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun. Thanks for checking in. I'm meteorologist Todd Nelson with a look at your local forecast. We are going to see those thunderstorms linger here early this evening, and then clouds will stay with us on Friday. Most of the thunderstorm activity, though, shifting to the east. Heading into the weekend, it will be sunnier, but it is also going to get warmer. How about this August? Really a very wet August. In fact, more than 10 inches of rain in Charleston. That's good enough for the wettest August on record here, with more than 7 inches and a surplus. Again, a lot of positive numbers here. And then year to date, seeing those positives, the updated drought monitor showing that we still have abnormally dry conditions farther east in yellow. But today there is that marginal severe threat. Farther east, we do have a slight risk of severe thunderstorms all developing along this particular boundary that, again, will create those thunderstorms through the afternoon and evening. Wind and hail the primary threat. Pockets of locally heavy rain. And then by Friday, again, most of that activity shifting to the south and east, but definitely pockets of heavy rain with that. Time now for a Fly CRW forecast throughout Florida. 90s, feels like temperatures into the triple digits, a few thunderstorms on Friday. Again, those lingering clouds for our panhandle forecast. We can't rule out, again, a few leftover showers and storms well off to the east into the afternoon. Spencer at 84, Ripley 85, Parkersburg 83. Again, a couple of showers. Isolated thunderstorms, Webster Springs at 79. Again, the best chance of those isolated thunderstorms kind of shifting to the south and east later in the day. But again, just more rain for this very wet August. Again, most of the thunderstorms kind of ending overnight tonight. A couple of leftover into our Friday farther east. Drier, sunnier weekend, but it is going to be warming up Sunday. We're back up to 90.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
I love the state of West Virginia. I've met some of my best friends. I'm excited to be back. I still have my pickup truck. I still have four-wheel drive. One of the ladies asked me in the forum if I know how to drive in the snow. I told her, oh, yeah, I spent 5 years in Elkins.
See, that's one of those things. Now that you're coming to Fairmont, you've handled the Elkins winter.
Yeah, if you can handle Randolph County.
I mean, you're moving. This is basically coming back to Florida here when you get to Fairmont. I mean, this is easy.
It's going to be a breeze.
Sportsline on Metro News Television. If it matters in West Virginia, it's being talked about here.
Gentlemen, I could not care less if you read this message. All right, moving on to the next one. 304 Talk 304. Well, they said it, not me.
Oh, it's terrible. Read the guy's mind.
Maybe I will, maybe I won't.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows Monday through Friday for Talkline. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
All right, welcome back. 26 till the hour. Kevin Kinder, BlueGoldNews.com, coming up in just a sec. Let me do a quick reset on our question of the day, because we've had a lot of really cool responses to this one. So a new survey reveals that 42% of adults made no cash purchases in a typical week this year, up sharply from 24% in 2025. Only 12% now use cash for nearly all purchases. That's 1 in 10. That was my Harrison County math there. Here is the question of the day, and it's sponsored by Salango Law. When was the last time you paid for something in actual cash, and what did you buy? When was the last time you paid for something in actual cash, and what did you buy? Text line 304-TALK 304, 304-8255-304. I'm on Exit Weekly, WEEKLEY, one word, 3 E's. WEEKLEY. Coop, when was the last time you paid strictly cash, homie, for anything?
Well, I may have made a mistake earlier. I said that the last thing that I paid in cash was the pepperoni roll that I got for you that you gave to Ryan. Because the place that I got the pepperoni roll, they charge you more if you don't use cash. And
yeah,
so,
I hate that.
Yeah, I won't. Frankly, there's places I've stopped going for doing that at all. There's a couple places downtown I'm kind of locked into, but I will only go if I have cash. I'm not giving that extra money up. But I just remembered the other day that I got some money some change out of my console, and there was something my daughter wanted in the store that cost like just a couple bucks, and we ran outside and we dove through my console, found the change, and ran back in and bought it for her. So that was
Nice.
the last thing I bought with cash. It was a little toy. Yeah.
Last weekend, I spent a couple of dollars at a thrift place, okay? And they take credit cards, but I paid cash. And last Saturday, I bought some Chick-fil-A. Cash.
Cash.
What
did the very nice people at Chick-fil-A do when you handed them green? Did they know what was going on?
They're pretty cool.
They're all right with it?
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
I don't even know. Do they wear like a money bag around their?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I've never even given them cash before. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
I always do.
Nice.
Yeah, so that Kevin Kinder, BlueGoldNews.com joins me now. How you doing, Kevin?
Doing well, Dave.
When was the last time you paid cash for anything?
I think it was in an airport. I got a Monster out of a vending machine, and it was not one of the new ones that doesn't take a credit card.
Uh-huh.
So I had to throw a bill in there.
All right.
But that's I don't know. So maybe that was one time in the past year I paid for something with cash.
Okay. All right. I got two things for you before we get into the very, very serious business of sports. Okay. Number one, you were unable to be on the show last week because you had to celebrate your wife Trisha's birthday. How did it go?
That was correct.
How did it go?
Went well. Had a little bit of a 60s theme. Everybody had tie-dye shirts and round shades from the period. Went out to dinner and had a very nice time.
That's nice. Now, I remember from one of your previous birthdays, Trisha, she likes birthdays, right? She's into the birthdays.
Well, I guess. I mean, she's probably happier, putting together something for somebody else.
Okay.
But, yeah, I think she had a good time.
All right. Here's the other thing. I've noticed, because I follow Blue Gold News on YouTube, that you and Greg Hunter are starting to do more daily updates on what's going on at WVU. How's that going? When did you start that?
Just a few weeks ago. Just got a directive to kind of expand the coverage a little bit more. So right now we're taking the avenue of not trying to make it really, wide-ranging, try to stick to one or two topics. Obviously, football's a dominant topic right now, but just one or two things about it. Our most recent one was on Caden Luke.
Right.
And just, how good – what a nice story he is. You just don't get a whole lot of those things anymore because you don't get the time or the opportunity to talk to him like you used to back in the quote old days, unquote. But he's just a really fun personality, really engaging, honest. I hope he gets on the field some and has some success because I think people will like it.
There you go. I totally agree with that. In fact, I watched that yesterday. You and Greg talked about him, and you started out with you didn't worry about his 40 time. You didn't worry about all of his stuff. You were into like how he got his nickname. And I just watched that, and I think the thing went for 5 or 6 minutes, and I really, really like it. Keep doing that.
That is the intent right now. We'll keep digging for any topics we can find.
All right, there you go. Kind of a big night soccer-wise for WVU, right? You got men and women both playing tonight. And let's see, the men are at UNCG. UNCG's in the top 15 in the country. Mountaineers need to get the goal scoring started, right? I mean, they've scored 1 goal in the first 2 games.
Yeah, they, hit by injuries, and Dan Strafford not leaning on that as an excuse. But, the fact is that does matter. You're not practicing with the same guys. Just with so many new people coming into the team, you're trying to put together who plays well together, who gives you the best chance to win. And, when those things, when there isn't enough practice time to do that, and especially when it hit at goalkeeper, which it did a little bit, it's been a little rough. So, yeah, that would be a very nice pickup if they could somehow get the win tonight.
Yeah, so they play UNCG tonight. And the WVU women, I don't know if our listeners are aware of this, but WVU women's women's soccer, rather, is in the top 10 in the nation at the moment. And they are at Princeton tonight, so we'll see how that goes. So how are you feeling about Mountaineer football 9 days out? What do you think?
Man, I'm ready for a game.
Yeah, I'll bet.
I want to see him. I want to watch him. I think I have an idea of where some things might be better. I've got some hopes about the secondary. I think the offensive line is going to be better. I'm kind of taken to heart, maybe not 100%, but when Rich Rodriguez said the other day we might have 24 new starters, when you include specialists, I don't think it's going to be quite that number, but I think it could be pretty close, a big percentage. So a lot of new people to watch, and how do those people react?
How are you feeling about how are you feeling about TCU on Saturday against North Carolina? Because I mentioned this in the 3 o'clock hour. I don't know what happened. I mean, I talked about this game a little bit yesterday, but I mean, suddenly the point spread on this game to just move 2 points in less than a day towards TCU. So the Frogs are now almost favored by almost 10 points in this game. I think Carolina can't be as bad as they were last year, can they?
No, but I think TCU could be as good as they were last year, and they smoked North Carolina.
They did.
After, Tar Heels had that first drive, looked great going down the field up 7-0, and then TCU took them to the woodshed. I think the final was 48-14. So, if you're trying to compare from one year to the next, did North Carolina make up that much? I don't think so. I think TCU got a solid quarterback that can probably use and win with. I'm picking TCU in that one.
Yeah, well, I took the under. Belichick, who knows where his brother is, who's supposed to run the defense, but I don't think their defense can be nearly as bad. It's the first game of the year. I kind of like the under in that game tomorrow. We'll see. Also, wanted to get your take. I talked to Tony Caridi about this an hour ago, but wanted to get your take as well. So the Big 12 is kind of following the lead of the SEC and the Big 10, and I'm sure the ACC at some point in the relatively near future. It's if you're taking money as a pro in professional leagues, you can't come back to college. But the Big 12 gave it a little bit of a spin. It's not just football in the Big 12. It's every sport in the Big 12. You can't come back.
Which it should be. And kudos to the Big 12 for that. You can't have one set of eligibility rules, I don't feel like, for one sport, not another, although admittedly college hockey is a little bit different. I don't know all the ins and outs there. But
baseball, too.
Yeah, but you go and you play in summer leagues and whatever, but you can't go into playing on a Reds farm team and coming back. I don't think you can do that, but yeah, we got to have some rules. We have to have some of these things. It's silly to think that Congress is going to do anything, and this one is good to me just because it's an narrow focus. hey, we're talking eligibility. This is what it means to be a college athlete. This is what you can do. Now, make some other rules that cover other things, but do them one at a time, roll them out, and maybe we can finally have a little bit of structure.
So the NFL's basically saying, look, you can only be drafted once, okay? You can only go through the draft once. I mean, imagine a crazy scenario if some of, unless these leagues had stepped up and made these rules, the WVU had some sort of a hotshot quarterback who had a great freshman year. So he decides to go into the draft, and he gets drafted, and for whatever reason, he decides to come back to college in hopes of being drafted again. Yeah, I mean, you just could not. A system like that just could not be. It wouldn't stand. It wouldn't be able to stand.
Well, and I'm not totally up on the NBA, but isn't that the way it is there when you get drafted by the NBA?
That's it.
Or you're in the Euro, the team still retains your draft
Correct.
rights, I think. So, it's you're never going to have a rule that covers every single circumstance. There's always going to be one-offs. But for the most part, seems to make a whole lot of sense.
All right. Well, it was good to have you back on the show. Happy belated birthday to Tricia, and it's good to know that you're throwing your cash around.
Oh, yeah. $1.50 at a time.
Kevin Kinder, BlueGoldNews.com. Thanks, Kevin. I'll talk to you next week.
Talk to you then, Dave.
All right, Kevin Kinder. All right, let's take a quick break. We're coming back with more in just a moment. Stay tuned.
This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
On the next State of Minds.
I was in liver failure, and I was told I needed to quit drinking or I was going to die, and that was at 36. When he invited me to church, all the hair on my arms, my chest, my back, it all stood up. You're taught to love, you're taught to forgive, and there's a reason for that. It lets you be healthy and lets you move forward with a vision for your life that's not defined by what happened to you.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
A lot of patients come here without much hope, and I think we can give them hope.
We offer a full spectrum of interventions suitable for every kind of person that walks through our door. We do absolutely everything we can to help you achieve your family building goals.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong.
It's our 23rd anniversary, and to celebrate, we're having a huge anniversary sale all month long on all Toyota trucks and pre-owned vehicles. Thank you for 23 years, Dan Caba, Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century. At Daniel's Men's Store, exceptional style begins with a curated selection and finishes with a flawless fit. When it's time to buy a suit, Daniel's is here to make sure yours is one of a kind. Discovered tailored suits you'll only find in store at Daniel's.
I kid my friend who just texted me, by the way, and said, no blanking cheese. Got away with
well, he
words.
should come out. He comes to the game.
No, you don't want him there because
because not everyone's going to have cheese. I mean, there might be a couple.
No, what he's going to do, he's going to go up to everybody there and start turning over their carts and saying, "This you are illegitimate. This is not accurate."
Midday on Metro News Television. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
It's our 23rd anniversary, and to celebrate, we're having a huge anniversary sale all month long on all Toyota trucks and pre-owned vehicles. We've discounted over 100 pre-owned vehicles this month, most of which are local one-owner trades. Great deals on all our Toyota trucks, and with over 90 in stock, now is the time to get yours. From our family to yours, we want to thank you for all the support over 23 years. Dan Cava, Toyota World in Fairmont.
All right, welcome back to the show. About 12 minutes till the hour. Did mention, we've talked about college football today, high school, NFL. Let me give you the rundown on the NFL exhibition games tonight. So the Steelers are at the Bills tonight. Still really not sure. I'm sure the Steeler coaches know, but media doesn't really know exactly how it's going to work out with the quarterbacks tonight. I guess we're going to find out. Aaron Rodgers, of course, has not played in the preseason. Mason Rudolph played in the first game against the Packers, didn't play against the Jets. And the two rookies, well, I guess Will Howard's technically a rookie, really, and Will Aller from Penn State really did not look that great against the Jets. So we'll see how that gets divvied up tonight. I think the smart money is thinking that maybe Aller will start. We'll know here in just over an hour. The other preseason games tonight, Pats and the Browns. Raiders are going to host the Niners. Rams and Chargers. The Commanders and the Ravens, they're going to play tomorrow. High school football in West Virginia now really gets going tomorrow night, but you got a half a dozen games that are going to be on the docket for tonight. Nitro in South Charleston. That's really kind of a very tasty opener. You'll hear it if you're listening here in Charleston on our flagship 580 WCHS. That'll be the game we'll have. The pregame starts in about 40 minutes or so. Kickoff at 7 o'clock over in South Charleston. Really intriguing game where you had Nitro, who came so close to winning the AAA championship last year, lost to Princeton by a point. You know, Donnie Mays is back at South Charleston. This is his second year since he's come back after he was at Hurricane for a while. South Charleston didn't win many games last year, but they were in a bunch of games, and they think that they've got a pretty good team. So this is a really important game for both of these teams right out of the chute. North Central West Virginia, you know, you got a Marion County battle where the Huskies of North Marion will be at East Fairmont tonight at East West Stadium. Over in the Eastern Panhandle, Hedgesville at Martinsburg. Martinsburg, of course, is supposed to be loaded again this year. Northern Panhandle, Weir at Oak Glen. Cameron at Clay Battelle. That's a 7 o'clock start. Noted, important about this game, the video of this game is going to be available on the Metro News channel. That will start at 7 o'clock. And then down you get a little farther into the coal fields, you got the Man Hillbillies and the Logan Wildcats. All of these other games started at 7. Man and Logan, that is a 7:30 kickoff tonight. And you've got a ton of games that are going to be played in the MEC tonight. We've talked a little bit about this. Here in Charleston, UC is going to host Grand Valley State over across town. You know, UC, year in and year out, they score points, man. The Golden Eagles scored about 40 a game. I think they scored 38 points a game last year, so we'll see what happens with UC tonight as they host Grand Valley State. West Lib is at home tonight. They're going to be hosting Walsh University of Ohio, and it's going to be the first game for the new coach of the Toppers. That is going to be Chad Salisbury. He's the new coach at West Lib, and he will make his debut tonight, so good luck to him. And we've talked about these other games. Two Mountain State teams are on the road tonight, and they are taking on teams from the FBS. So normally, you know, that's a big step up from playing Division II ball to the FCS level, but that's what's happening tonight. Concord and Davidson will be going at it. That's a 7 o'clock start. And Glenville is on the road at Elon. Now, both those teams are FCS teams, but they're in different conferences. Davidson is in the what are they in? Are they in the Capital League? I believe they are. And Elon is in the Colonial. So that's going to be a tough way to start for Concord and Glenville tonight on the road. As far as Major League Baseball is concerned, the Reds and the Pirates are both off tonight. The Pirates are in St. Louis to begin. That's the last stop on a 3-city trip that started by the Bucs being swept by the Dodgers in L.A. last week. The Pirates were going for a sweep of the Padres, but they got beat yesterday 3-0. They're off tonight. They'll be in St. Louis to take on the Cardinals beginning tomorrow night. And the Reds, what a wild game. We talked about this in the 3 o'clock hour. Such a wild game where the Reds scored 7 runs in the top of the 9th inning and came all the way back, and they beat the Giants 10-9 yesterday. The Reds are off tonight, and they will be in Chicago, and they will be playing the Cubs tomorrow. The first game in this series is tomorrow afternoon. Major League Baseball this afternoon, the Cardinals, who have been slumping, won today. They beat the Orioles 7-5, and of course the O's are right in the middle of the hunt to make that final wild card spot in the American League. And the Cardinals are amongst a handful of teams that still have hopes of maybe getting that last wild card spot in the National League. So that game is already over, 7-5 in that particular game. We were talking about some of the crazy stats about that game last night for the Reds. It was amazing. The Giants, in the history of the Giants, had never lost a game quite like that. They were it was like 2,200-0 when they had a 6-run lead or more going to the 9th inning. They had never lost a game like that until yesterday.
That's the thing about baseball. You play 162 of them a year. Eventually, you play long enough, monkeys are going to type Shakespeare. You know it's going to happen.
And the Reds had not come back and won a game in the 9th inning in which they trailed by 6.5 runs since 1958. And they were the record all time for the Reds, who are they go all the way back to like 1888, something like that. It was like 1900-3. So that's one of those things, man. You just go to a ball game, you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know. Let's take a break, and we'll come back and wrap it for the day in a moment.
Anyone can choose to make a difference. You can help people succeed, rebuild after disasters, protect the environment, or feed the hungry. Not only will you make a difference for others, but for yourself. You can earn money for college, learn career skills, and make friendships that last a lifetime. Make a difference. Choose your future. Choose AmeriCorps.
Talking to your kids about the dangers of vaping can be hard. Getting them to listen to hot gossip is easy. So here's some drama you could share with your kid. Dude, did you hear about Cassie and Jake? No, but did you hear that vaping can cause irreversible lung damage and nicotine affects brain development? Nuh-uh. You don't need to gossip if you want to have an open conversation about vaping. So if you want to get tips on when and how to talk to your kids, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Moving Day, a walk for Parkinson's, is happening around the country. More than just a walk. Moving Day is a fun experience that unites the community in the fight against Parkinson's disease. Parkinson's doesn't stop, and neither will we. So let's get moving. Join the Parkinson's Foundation to learn more and register for an event in your area at movingdaywalk.org. That's movingdaywalk.org.
The Library of Congress invites you to visit the revamped Veterans History Project website, where first-hand accounts shared by U.S. military veterans are accessible to the public. Performing a search of the collection is easy. First, go to loc.gov/vets. Click Explore the Collections. Scroll down to Search the VHP Collections and click. Make sure you're searching this collection, and with simple keywords, you can find what you're looking for. Visit loc.gov/vets today.
Being isolated and lonely can be harmful to your health, resulting in high blood pressure, a greater risk of heart disease, and early onset dementia. So it's important to build and maintain social connections. Try a new hobby, volunteer, exercise, or use your phone or other device to stay in touch. Visit connecttoeffect.org to find resources and ways to stay connected. Presented by AARP Foundation with support from United Healthcare.
Hey, everything okay?
Yes, I'm fine.
Honey. Hey, I'm here for you. Tell me about school today.
When kids can't find the right words, music can help them sound it out. Talk to the kids in your life about their emotional well-being. Find tools and resources at sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and Pivotal Ventures.
To the big-hearted, the bold, the teachers, the growers, the builders, the change makers, we need you. We are the Peace Corps. In more than 60 countries, we go the distance to make a difference. We're volunteers, partners, communities, bringing our experience, joy, and passion to building a better world together. Are you looking for more? Then we are looking for you. Join us at peacecorps.gov.
All right, folks, that's going to do it for the show today. We thank you so much for listening, sending your answers to our question of the day and more. Stay tuned for the news. At the top of the hour, Sports Line is on the other side. And check out some high school football tonight. You got a half a dozen games going on in West Virginia this evening. My name's Dave Weekley. I will talk to you tomorrow, beginning at 3:06. Right here on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Hotline on the Metro News Network is presented by Salango Law, salangolaw.com. Hear Hotline weekdays from 3 until 6 on this Metro News station or WVMetronews.com. Visit the site or your favorite podcast service for past shows and features. This has been Hotline, presented by Salango Law on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.